This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain shocking revelations, violence, and sexual themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to the video podcast Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Delta Green role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Agent Purple's Green Box Blues. It was written by James Haughton, and it's available from Art Dream Publishing. I'm the handler, and this is a one-shot. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. You find yourselves at midnight in the top floor of a building in the middle of LA. It is the Starlight Ballroom. There is currently no shining, spinning light or anything, although they have been testing the disco lights. You are in a quiet corner together where you often are called by Delta Green for an opera. There's a man sitting there, and he introduces himself. I am Agent. Damn it.
I am D-cell then.
Agent. Damn it. Well, I lost his name. So I'm Agent Inconsequential. And we need you on a special mission this time around. We've called you from various other cells. None of you know who you are. You all know who I am. We're going to call this Operation Toilet Brush because you're going to be cleaning up a mess, something that might be a mess. As you probably are aware, there are a lot of gangs in Los Angeles, mostly criminal, but we've begun to get rumors that the White Snakes are involved in artifact smuggling out of Mexico and possibly out of Arizona and other states. The reason why we know this is P-Cell has been working in Los Angeles for quite a while. They've brought in a lot of cults, taking care of some of the problems. But recently, while they were investigating the White Snakes, they were caught in we don't know whether it was a trap or whether it was just bad luck, but they were pretty much massacred, all except Agent Purple. He managed to get out, and the others were all killed. There were only two others, by the way, at the time, Agent Petrus and Agent Partridge. They were both killed. He's now trying to cover that mess up. But it seemed like they had an artifact that was identified as belonging to a green box that was stationed here in Los Angeles. So now we don't know whether the White Snakes have infiltrated, have managed to find the location of a green box. We don't know what's going on. Purple's overwhelmed. He actually doesn't know that I'm sending you to help him clean up. But I can give you his cell number, and you can contact him and tell him that I'm sending you in. Other than that, you'll have to, get your information from him as to what to do next. Having dealt with Purple for a while, he's not exactly the most friendly fellow, so good luck.
Probably feeling a little bit of post-op distress as well right now, losing two fellow agents. What part of town is the green box in question?
The green box in question is green box GB 3863, and it was located near Dodger Stadium, uh, near Elysian Park. I can give you the address, 835 Spruce Street, Los Angeles, pretty much right in the heart of the city.
Is there anyone on a precautionary basis moving other green boxes in case there was an infiltration?
Not that we know of. Got to tell you that our knowledge of the green boxes in LA is sketchy at best. I can't comment on A cell or my higher ups, but there's not a lot of record keeping in this organization as of late. So that's all I know. You got to get a hold of him, get out there and see him, see what you can do, see what you can come up with. But you might be going into some rather harsh situation. The White Snakes are notorious. They'll carry guns. They're a biker gang. We think that's exactly what happened. They got caught, a little bit overwhelmed with firepower.
Do they have any distinguishing features, tattoos, something of that like?
I don't know. You'll have to talk to Purple. He's the expert on what's been going on with the White Snakes. At least he's the only surviving person that knows what's been going on with the White Snakes. So here's the phone number. He gives it to you. And you can make your calls. This place is safe, at least for another half an hour. And then good luck. You can report back. You've got the code phone number to call Delta Green if you need to. You'll be calling me. Good night. And he gets up and walks out rather unceremoniously.
All right, take out the burner, call Purple.
Okay, phone rings. Who is this?
A friend of somebody inconsequential. We understand that there's been a spot of bother, and a few of us have been sent to clean things up.
The bird sings at midnight.
The crow flies over the convent.
Okay. Why is he sending you out here? I can finish this up myself.
I'm not in any doubt of your competence. Many hands make light work.
All right, I'm typing in the address where you can meet me.
Very good. See you shortly.
Yeah.
How close is that address to the Elysian Park?
Probably 30 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, it's no, near Elysian Park. It's not.
It's not. All right.
It's in. We'll say it's in San Pedro. So
Okay.
quite a ways south from where you are. Probably take you half an hour, 45 minutes to get there.
Like any good agent, he seems like a paranoid bastard.
Yeah. Unfriendly. I would say he's definitely overwhelmed and trying to cover his ass. Again, he might be in some degree of shock. Do we have any reason to think that it's worth sending a one or two to GB 3863 and look at that independent of his location? Or should we stick together?
Imagine, if you will, that from where you are right now, it would take you maybe 15 minutes going east to get to the green box, and it would take you 45 minutes going south. You could do it like this, or whatever.
Traffic shouldn't be bad at midnight. So maybe we'll make a little.
It's shit
It's
in
it,
this town, regardless of what time it is.
it won't be terrible, but it'll still be slow.
Lao Tzu once said, when you outnumber your enemy, divide your forces.
Do we think we outnumber our enemy?
Well, two
It's
agents got taken out. I don't think we do.
yeah,
I was just gonna
it's a
define that as
biker
every
game.
time.
Yeah, that's not usually 5 people or less.
Yeah.
Well,
I
shit,
was just
maybe we
thinking of
should
every
stick
other
together.
person behind the wheel on the highway, personally. But
We should also consider the fact that with any sort of thing like this, that there is about a 30% chance that Agent Purple is in on the grift himself. Just statistically, those are the people that survive these sort of things. Not to
Never
be
tell me
what did
else.
you call it, Glanton? A paranoid asshole? Is that about right?
Paranoid bastard.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So did
But
you want to split your group up?
I don't think we should.
I think the consensus is we're going to stay together. Check
Okay.
out the green box, just try to be efficient about it, and then go to meet Purple.
Okay. So you hop in your car or cars. You drive to the location of the green box. The green box is Dodger Stadium looms up right nearby. It's on a little back street behind some warehouses, and there's a what is it? A storage facility. However, it's a key code. You don't have the key code.
We can always call Agent Green.
Agent
It's
Purple.
Purple.
No, the number prior to if we need information, the one that debriefed us.
Oh,
Inconsequential.
Yeah.
What was the number of the green box again?
It's 3863.
Let's try that.
Can't hurt. Beep boop beep bop.
nothing.
Fuck.
What was it inconsequential said about things not being organized?
Now, the facility itself has an iron, a really standard ugly iron gate, that goes around it, just straight. There is barbed wire on the top of it so that people can't jump over it. But there's nobody around. This area is kind of deserted. You can see that the hours are 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. After that, they don't let you in anymore. And it's not a very nice neighborhood.
Are there any signs of like forced entry to the site itself?
I mean, it's kind of run down. It looks like, with the right tools, you could bend the bars and probably get through.
Is there an operating security camera or more than one?
Yeah, there's probably one. We'll say there's rows. So there's one on the end of each row.
Please tell me we have a burglary expert here.
I've dabbled a little bit.
What say you?
Having a look at the place, is it easy enough to be able to disconnect the CCTV without being seen?
Yeah,
Are they
probably.
even actually? Are they just for show, or are they actually recording?
Well, you don't know that for sure. They are, there's a light on.
Right.
But at the same time, it looks like one of those that you could just get up there and unplug. They'd end up with static. And there's very not likely a security guard who's going to suddenly come running out and say, hey, that camera suddenly turned off.
Mhm.
They'll find out tomorrow or maybe never because nobody will notice or complain.
Yeah, I mean, if they're easy enough to unplug without being seen. So climb up and pull without being in its line of sight. That seems like a sensible start.
Okay. So you'll have to get past the razor wire, the barbed wire, but you guys know what you're doing. Throw your jacket over the wire.
Yeah.
Either that or somebody has pliers. We can just cut them up.
I've always heard that you can use car mats as well. That hard plastic at the bottom is quite
Sure,
useful.
sure. All right, so we'll say that without much difficulty, you guys managed to get inside. You've closed you've covered the wire. You've helped each other up and over. It's only like an 8-foot high fence, so a little bit of work. You're up and over, so you're inside. Now you have a second problem. You don't know which box in this place is GB. 38, 36.
How are the boxes numbered?
They start at 001 and go to about go to about 800.
Once again, not the number we need. Are we just burning time here?
You could always just call Agent Purple and have him tell us the number and any locks that we need.
And the precautions he's put on the box.
All right. I was hoping to avoid that, but
Okay, so you call Purple. Who is this?
same friendly as before. We had the number 3863, and we're at that location, but we don't know which receptacle is in question.
Let me see if I've got that information.
Thank you.
I haven't been to that green box. I show that's the one on Spruce Street. That's the one that was compromised. You're there, huh?
Indeed.
Well, I don't know which one.
To it than to you, so we thought we'd swing by.
Oh, wait, here, 617 is the box, but I don't have any kind of key to get in or code. It's
Understood.
probably just a combo lock.
Copy. I'll contact you again when we're at your location.
You're just wasting your time. Click.
Yeah. Mr. Congeniality. 617 is the number, and now let's see if we need anything more than a crowbar to open her up.
So you get over to it, and indeed, all of these units have combination locks on the outside. I'm sorry, no, they don't. They do have combination locks, but they're exposed in such a way that if the owners of the property need to, cut them off, they can do it. They're all pretty much identical because the facility here makes you buy their lock so that they can get in. But it is securely, and it looks just like all the others.
Seamus, is this trivial to you?
Have a look at it. If I've got a pair of bolt cutters for my standard type of equipment, then I'll have a look to see if I can just go snip and
I'll accept that. It. Sure. All right.
Assuming that there's nothing that looks like it's deliberately set up as tripwires or pressure pads or anything to say that when it's cut that it would activate anything, or likewise having a look around the frame to see if when you pull the roller thing up that there's going to be an issue.
Okay. You don't see any kind of tripwires or booby traps. You clip the lock right off. and it's the kind that you lift up. You lift it up, and it looks like as if you were opening just somebody's random storage thing. There's a number of pieces of furniture sitting in the front, some boxes filled with what look like old toys, Barbie dolls, things like that. It gives you the distinct impression that it's disguised in case somebody opens it up. When you get back into it, you start to see some unusual things. You throw over a tarp and you see a number of weapons. You see a police issue belt that has steel handcuffs and keys. There's evidence bags. There's flashlights, nightsticks, things like that. You find a 16 gauge double-barreled shotgun that looks like it's Turkish manufacture. You find a box that when you open it up, it kind of startles you. It looks like a complex sort of booby trap kit that you might use to make a bomb, so that if somebody were to open something up, they would be obliterated. It's not made into a bomb, but it's got all the stuff there for it. Things like that.
Any signs of tampering at all?
You do see that the dust on the floor has been disturbed by people or persons recently coming in and out. It does look like some things have been moved around, but you can't tell if things have been taken out or not.
Is there any way to work out what their movement patterns were if there's plenty of dust in here? Can I get an idea if did they go straight to one particular thing, or did they go in and peruse out? What was their kind of series of actions?
Because it's kind of cramped, you'd guess that just going in and out, even if they knew where they were going, they still moved dust and, handprints and things like that all over. The handprints definitely were wearing gloves. There's no clear footprints. It's not that much dust.
And does the area that looks disturbed look freshly disturbed, or is there another layer of dust on the footprints?
I would say that it looks like maybe it was disturbed in the last month or so.
And there isn't, so say, a set of steel bolt shelves with junk on them and then a big gap.
No, but there are some shelves that have books on them. There is a book, Nikolai Tesla, Yours is the Future. And there is another book that it's odd looking. When you look at it at first, it looks like it's going to be a textbook. If you pick it up and you open it, it's all blank on the inside. Do you actually check to see if it's all blank?
Probably not blank. Agent Roger, this seems like your skill set. You're too quiet.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm sorry. I was distracted. No, I'm happy to start looking through these to catalog what we have. But it is interesting that we had to cut the bolt to get in here. Yes. And I'm wondering how they got inside. I guess they could have lockpicked. Yes. Let me take a look at this book.
At first, all the pages are blank as you're going along, and then you notice that somebody's been sketching pictures. At first, they are very primitive, crude, and they're people, but none of them have faces. And as you go farther in the book, the pictures get better renderings, better pencil, drawings with some ink. They get really pretty nice. Sometimes there's multiple people on a page. None of them have any faces. And then there are pictures of people that look like they're dancing together, still no faces. And when you turn the last bit of the book, all of these people seem to be melting together and combining into an abomination of multiple arms and legs kicking with no faces. You can do a sanity check.
Oh dear. Nope. 77 critical failure.
Just take one. It's weird, but
Yep. Nope. Yep. That's supposed to be in this. Yep. This is one of them.
It reminds me of the weird ass freeze they have in front of the federal building.
Oh, I don't like that. I'm not going there anymore.
um other than that, you do realize that it would take you hours to go through and search every nook and cranny of this room. Things seem to be purposefully disguised.
Well, Purple said we were wasting our time. Maybe he's not wrong.
Perhaps we just set the lock out front and go meet with him. Perhaps he has more information about, why he thinks this is a problem area. That said, I will take the book since we have confirmed that it's strange.
Okay. So you're going to get back out of the complex, cover your tracks, and hop in the car and head south towards San Pedro. It takes you about 30 more minutes or so to get there. San Pedro is the port in the south, the fishing port. You find the address that he gave you, and it is a small, sort of brown, looks like an old place, maybe 100 years old. It's got terracotta tile on the roof, sort of in the Spanish tradition. But you can see that there is a light on inside. The windows are drawn, but you can see light through the windows. There's not much place to park, but you have to drive around and find places to park, and it's all metered. Actually, it's only metered from 6 a.m. until 9 p.m. So if you're parking overnight, it's fine.
I'm gonna call Purple again just so that he doesn't aim a Tommy gun at us if we knock on the door. So
Answers. It's you again. I can tell because who else is going to call me this fucking hour of night? Are you here yet? Where are you?
we're right outside. Just want to give you a heads up before coming in.
All right. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to hold a gun to your head. Click.
Fair enough. I was going to ask him which door he preferred, but I don't think it matters. Let's go meet the welcome wagon.
All right. So you go up to the door. You almost expect him when you get up to the door and knock for him to be on the inside going, what's the secret password? It's gotten ridiculous at this point. But he opens the door and he says, inside. He says, what? He sent me five of you? Look, there's paperwork to do. I'm doing it. I really don't need any help. I don't know what the whole purpose of you being here is. You guys know nothing about the situation.
That's what we're hoping you can correct.
Look, I don't know if you guys have clearance, what you guys know, what things you've been exposed to in the past. I don't know if you have any of you seen things or experienced things that are really beyond the kind of stuff that Delta Green was made for.
If you call your friend getting crushed by an animated roller coaster things, then yes, I have.
Yeah, that sounds fucked up enough. Yeah. All right, look. Let me just show you. And he points over to the desk where his big gigantic computer is, with little glowing amber letters on it. And what he points to is a mahogany box. The box is about 12 inches long, maybe 5 inches wide, and only a couple of inches tall. The kind of thing you might put a very fancy utensil or something inside. And he just points at it and he says, have a look. Don't touch it. Touch the box, don't touch the contents.
Yeah. I'm gonna just snap on a glove before I even touch the lid and have a peek.
So you open up the lid, and at first, what you think you're seeing is a knife. Though it's kind of unusually shaped, it's not like the shape that you'd expect from a knife. It also, at first, when you glance at it, seems to have that sort of Damascus steel look, where there are striations and various, dark and lightness to the blade. But as you look at it, you realize that this thing is composed. It looks like it was composed not of like metal, the way you'd make a knife, like it was made out of wire or sharpened pieces of wire smashed together and forged. Those striations of color, the black and white sort of striations of color, are individual blades themselves. And as you look at it a little more, you realize they are moving. Like the blade is composed of sharp knife worms that are very slowly altering the shape of the blade. You realize that they extend into the handle itself. And he says, we think that is the Brusilov knife. It came from the place called Vranovlatsy in Bulgaria during the First World War. We've traced it to Paris, then Chicago, then to LA. And if you touch it, it seems to crave blood. We found this. This is what we found. This is what we recovered from our meeting with the white snakes, our encounter with the white snakes. I managed to get away with it. We were all running, and they didn't. Well, I mean, it goes that way sometimes. We at least recovered this, but the white snakes have been they've been smuggling stuff across the border. At least we've suspected that for a while. This is one of our first really good encounters. We've had other missions, all of which were successful. We've recovered other artifacts which we've sent to Delta Green, but this time it just went south. It didn't work out the way we planned it to, and the other problem with this knife is when I did my paperwork and I sent in the information on it, it rang a bell. They found that it was something that was already recovered once before by F-Cell and placed in that place that green box that you were in. So somebody's gotten into that green box. We think one of the white snakes knew it was there and recovered it. Thank God we recovered it back. But we don't know how that happened.
What happened to F-Cell?
Oh, I have no idea. I think F-Cell was years ago.
Well, it's a hell of a story.
But I don't think that I don't think that you're going to find much in that green box. What did you find? Anything?
Essentially, we found that it looked like it had been breached, and it seemed like they must have known what they were looking for because it wasn't chock full of.
I've got a partial list. Agent Delta Green doesn't keep very good records, but I managed to get a printout here. I'll show that to you. That's what was supposed to be in it.
All right, so it's an F-Cell manifest. They call it Turtle Up Class 4. So in addition to the Tesla book you found, right, and we saw the steel handcuffs, we saw the double-barreled shotgun. We didn't notice the 45, but there were lots of brown paper bags. And this Vonovlotsi knife, do you know if it's been, well, no illustration of images with unseen faces, engaged in unknown wild dance. Okay.
Yep. That we found that one.
Yep. And the booby trap kit. So no other indication that there was a breach. But again, this blade seems to be the most powerful artifact. So they didn't just go in with a couple of apple crates and take everything and see what was good. They knew what they wanted. What can you tell us about the white snakes?
Okay, the white snakes are a biker gang. And of course, there's a lot of gangs. Gangs are really good at smuggling shit, way it is. They're bikers too, so they like the open road. Difficult to trace where they're coming from or where they're going. We think that one of their main headquarters is Cook's Corners. That's in Orange County. Up in Majeska Canyon, it's a biker bar. We think they hang out a lot there. You can usually they're not bright. They wear jackets with white snake on them. But we think, at least we've been hypothesizing, that there's a much more dangerous cult that's behind them. Possibly, see, I don't know what you know and what you don't know. I'm hesitant to just start spieling off this information to you. Have any of you heard of the Disciples of the Worm?
No.
The Disciples of the Worm goes all the way back to 1014 AD. They were founded by a fella, Abraham ibn Ali, and they were trying to achieve immortality. It started in Khotan, China, and it moved across Asia, across Europe. They're fucking insane, and they're willing to sacrifice people. Like I say, the rumors are is that some of their members are immortal. I mean, I don't know about that sort of shit, but they're bloodthirsty. I have been trying very hard to get some of this research done. Right now I'm trying very hard to cover up the deaths of Partridge and and Petros and make sure that they can't lead back to Delta Green. I honest to God don't know why they sent you out here. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Have you tried blowing the knife up?
Oh, well, I mean, it is eventually going to be demolished. We think that it has something to do with some atrocities during World War One. And that way it was, some cult had a hold of it. They somehow fashioned it into this knife. I don't know. Right now, I mean, it's eventually going to get turned over and let Delta Green, let B cell deal with it.
Partridge and Petros, did I assume they were it was firearms that they succumbed to shooting?
I don't know precisely. I look, I mean, there's no easy way to say it. Basically, somebody has to get out. Somebody has to get out and tell Delta Green what's going on. That's me. So, I mean, you can say that I abandoned them, but whatever. I didn't abandon them. I managed to grab that. I managed to grab that knife, and I managed to get out while those two offered themselves up as a distraction, and they didn't make it.
But you don't have bodies that you have to deal with.
Well, there are bodies. They're in the morgue.
Uh,
I'm trying to make sure that they don't get properly identified
right.
because they had families, and the Delta Green way. We don't want the families to know. Anyway, for everybody involved. I don't know. Any suggestions as to what you can do? We've got to find out where they're getting these artifacts. We've got to find out how they're knowing
Well,
that.
what's the origin of, you have this list that's F Cell's manifest. Where did your cell procure this from?
Oh, I downloaded that. Just I mean, I got it. You can see it's on a shitty dot matrix printer. But I mean, I've got a list here also of all of the cells in the area, and you can take a look at those too.
Right, but you did not generate this list, correct?
I didn't generate it. I just
Oh dear.
I got it, found it in there. You can see their bookkeeping is shitty.
F cell compromised.
Yeah.
Shit. I did that roller coaster opera with them. Well, looks like I didn't make it.
So, I mean, we have no way of knowing whether the white snakes have managed to get into any of the other ones, and I don't have contents lists for any of those. So I mean, I think that at this point in time, we have to do anything to find out how they're doing this. You know what I mean? Anything. We
But we
are
kidnap
above.
one of them and torture them.
Don't do it here, but if you want to find them, Cook's Corner, you're going to find them.
Did
This-
you see any of the white snakes in particular around the confiscated item?
Well, at the place we were, Rocco Soul was the ringleader there. I don't know whether he got killed or not. I hope so. But I think he's got a place in Bell Gardens, which is like one of the shittiest parts of town. Or Compton, maybe. Quite honestly, a white guy running around in Compton's not safe. Or Watts. And that's searching that area. Half those houses are abandoned anyway. I don't know. I got stuff to do. I got paperwork. But if you guys want to take this, you guys look like you're pretty hefty. You guys look like you got some military in there somewhere.
That's me. But we can go for the ringleader, go for Rocco if you want to interrogate, ask questions.
Well, I'm not sure you'll be able to get a hold of him. He'll be pretty, but you can get to some of the guys, the satellites around him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did the confrontation take place
Well,
that you survived?
that was actually in Bell Gardens. Not the same place where we think his place is, but nearby.
To
It's
the
a
best
private
of your,
residence.
you said that the blade seems to be hungry for blood. To the best of your knowledge, has it been blooded recently?
I have no idea. I don't think so.
Thom, may I take a break? I need to get the door right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Break.
No door for you. They wait outside until the game is done.
Delivery for Agent Purple. Here you go. The sign here.
He
Counting
comes
down
back with
Pizza.
I
it have any-
have to admit, I look at some of these contents and I see necktie. It's like, that's interesting.
Let me
Yeah, but
put
it's next to
while I got.
Thom.
I'll put these things in the chat so that you can see them. I mean, in the
It's when they're next to entries like Kalatu, Barada, and then Necktie that you begin to worry.
That's why I'm lucky that I didn't get book with words, because I don't know that I could risk reading along. You just see, and pretty soon.
there are those two lists. I put them in the Discord. All I gotta say is thank you, Green Box Generator.
Yes.
It doesn't come into the game, but the necktie. It's cool. The necktie. If you wear the necktie, you can, when you defer your sanity loss onto a bond, you actually gain bond instead of lose it. Except that if you do it for 5 points,
there it is.
that person disappears forever.
Oh shit.
But that doesn't come into our story. Don't fuck with the necktie.
Didn't tie this double Windsor knot perfectly.
You see something terrible and you just got to be like, do I like my brother that much? Like, Christmas was awkward.
Not going to have next year. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
He voted for Ross Perot. Ooh, 90s reference. Boom.
I'd have voted for Ross Perot, but now that I look back on it, I'm thinking that's like Trump. Maybe I shouldn't have voted. Wouldn't have voted for. Could have gotten ourselves in a horrible mess.
Yep. So it sounds like we just pay a visit to this dude, kidnap him, torture him, get a bunch of false intel out of him, and then die.
Well, the fun will then
You
be
haven't read this, have you?
relocating. We have to relocate every one of these green boxes.
Yep. Don't
That's
think
okay.
about the plan too much.
No, as an intelligence analyst, I'm excited to start going through these and finding them a new home that's much better organized.
Okay. You think it's bad here? You should see what it's like in Kansas. Okay. So, Agent Purple is going to go back to the computer and continue doing what he's doing. You see that he has probably drank 5 cups of coffee in the last, well, you're guessing quite a while because he's got a sink full of dirty coffee dishes, and he does seem a little bit red-eyed and upset. He also very carefully closes that box back up, but leaves it sitting on the desk where it was. He says, "I don't know where you're gonna have to, curl up on the floor. There's a bedroom, but it's just one bedroom in this house. It's a shitty little house. What do you guys want to do?"
Let's take ships sleeping in the car if we need to.
Do you happen to have a city map, Agent Purple?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, what he's got is he's got a Thompson guide, which
Right.
a Thompson guide is a big, thick book. It's got, it's a grid layout of the entire city, all the streets, about 300 pages.
If you don't mind, I'll take a printout of this list and start figuring out on the map where these are and kind of
Okay.
comparing them to Whitesnake. The exciting paperwork.
Yeah. And you can see, of course, that they are all over the city. Not just the city, but there's some in Orange County. There's some in, there's at least one, I think, that was all the way in San Diego, Malibu, Viejo. There's none of them that are like really close to each other. And Purple says, we speculate there could be at least a dozen or so more that have never been recorded. Fucking Delta Green.
Yeah,
Those
the,
them-
I was just going to say he probably wouldn't call it the cowboy era, but it's the fucking cowboy era.
At least they haven't made it out to San Bernardino.
I think they did.
yeah, the box numbers that just have 3 sets of triple question marks don't inspire confidence. So it's now 1:30 or something in the morning.
Yeah.
I imagine that a Bikers Clubhouse is still happening at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, maybe. It would take you he said Majeska Canyon. That'll take you an hour and a half to get to.
Oh, that's 4. That's 3. That's kind of late even for bikers. Although if there are any left, they're probably shit-faced.
Well, it's probably better that we go when they're ship-based. We can
Yeah.
catch them off guard.
Yeah,
or
I
when they're
think
sleeping.
I don't know, Roger, that we're gonna make any headway on that list of an infinite number of boxes. I think we need to find out who's the brains behind these goons.
Agreed. Stop the bleeding and then we can begin the transplant, as it were. Little joke.
So are you all going to go? Are you going to, some of you rest? You tell me.
I'm not gonna get any sleep in this crummy house with this paranoid morning maniac that's got a magic knife. So I'm feeling somewhat adrenalized and I'm ready to head off to Cook's Corners. If anybody else wants to be rested so they're competent tomorrow, I don't think that's unreasonable. But I would like at least some muscle.
I'll go with you to Cook's Corner, but I would also suggest someone stays here. We need someone to be watching the item and the paranoid bastard as well.
Oh, I'm happy to stay. I'm not a combat individual. Sorry, Agent Seamus.
I was going to say the same thing. I don't mind babysitting if need be, but I do know at least know my way around a gun. So if you need someone with a bit of force, then I can point my little friend in the right direction.
And Clanton?
Oh, I'll go with you. I'm useless with reading.
Okay, so Roger, you're going to stay. The rest of you are going to go. All right. So, fortunately, the highways this time of night are probably at their least busy. You're all from kind of the area, so you're not like surprised that there is still traffic out at 3 a.m. You drive down the 5 into Orange County. You take the 5 down towards the end. You get to the like Irvine Park, and you follow the road up into the hills. Majeska Canyon is where very wealthy people build their houses in, it's a tight little valley, a little tight canyon. So they've got all these little houses up on the cliffs and so forth. It's very pretty. It also catches fire every few years and burns all their homes out, and then they just rebuild. That kind of place. You pass the bird sanctuary, and you come out onto, I think, Santiago Canyon Road, and Cook's Corners is a fairly old, fairly famous biker bar that's there. There's nothing else around it. And as you are carefully, well, how do you want to approach? You can drive by it, you can come back, you can see what
I think
there's.
doing a drive by be a sensible idea because then we can get
Okay.
the lay of the land. Just make sure that it doesn't look obvious that we're casing the joint.
Okay.
Yeah, we can just drive up slowly and then, but still move forward and just kind of observe it.
So before you quite get there, you do start to pass motorcycles going in the opposite direction. One here, one there. So it's a biker park. You can do what is alertness or spot hidden. What is it? It's not spot hidden.
Alert.
Yeah.
I have a regular only for alert.
Well, you might see as you're driving somebody with a couple of people like with white snake jackets going in the opposite direction on their big Harley Davidson motorcycles.
And these are solo riders, or do they have ladies on the back?
No, they're solo in this case. So as you start casing the joint, when you get there, there are only 3 bikes out in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And you're pretty sure the bar will be closing at some point very shortly as you've arrived. I'll say just slightly before 3 a.m. You see 3 people come out, 4 people come out, 3 guys and a girl. And they're laughing. They're obviously a little drunk. And they're all sort of attempting to get on their bikes. One of them has a girl, rider.
Right.
But the one who looks drunkest is having the most trouble sort of getting himself on. They all say their goodbyes, and the guy and the girl leave. The second guy leaves, and the third guy is left there taking his time getting onto his bike and getting himself steady.
So there's
Yes.
probably a bartender inside with a shotgun, could be a couple.
I would
So
assume
if we-
there's more people inside.
Right. I mean, there aren't a lot of vehicles to.
There's only a car, a black car in the back, which you think that's probably the bartender owner, whatever.
So if we just follow the Lush home, we might be able to confuse some information out of him.
Should we
No.
follow him home or just grab him and put him in the car?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Which one? The first one or the second one?
The second one. I say we just grab him.
Part of me is more from the more of the opinion, let him do the work for us.
He might get into an accident if he's pretty drunk driving.
Then we're right on hand to pick him up as concerned citizens. We are good Samaritans that just happen to be passing by that could pick him up.
In that
It's
case,
true.
we can create the accident.
I think
We
he'll quite
can-
happily do that himself in this state.
Yeah.
I just don't want to deal with a, a retired biker bar owner with a shotgun and an unlicensed 45 in his glove compartment.
The Majeska Canyon is pretty much deserted. Everybody's in
Yeah.
bed. It's very quiet, very dark, no street lights.
We're pretty much in the mountains.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing we could do is grab him and throw him in a car, and then somebody else could ride his motorcycle away, and the bartender wouldn't think anything of it.
I
We
can
don't worry
drive the
about
bike.
him going home that way to
It
a
would-
wife and kid.
Yeah, that way nothing's left behind. We can do that. That seems more reasonable. We can also even have his bike and check it, see if there's anything on there that we can details.
Okay. Is that what you're going to do?
That's what we're gonna do.
All right. So you park your car when you guys get out. Your car makes noise on the gravel as the wheels, hit the gravel part. The biker doesn't notice. He's fiddling with his keychain, trying to find the key. Do motorcycles have keys?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So he's looking through his keychain like that and sort of leaning against the bike. You guys are able to walk right up to him. You're kind of behind him. He's actually facing towards the bar as he's standing there. What do you guys want to do?
I say
Describe it for me.
So who's
Describe the
driving?
scene.
Who's driving the vehicle?
I'll drive.
Okay, so
Oh,
Agent
you mean
Harper's
the car or the bike?
the car first.
Yeah.
You're driving. Okay. Agent Seamus, do you know how to drive a bike?
I think I know my way around one.
I feel like you can do a lot of things. So you're very reliable.
There's a
So,
reason why they might call me Jack as my middle name.
all right. So we roll up on him behind. You said he doesn't notice the noise of us rolling up.
He's a little too drunk.
Yeah, he's a little too drunk. We can say Seamus was in the passenger front seat and I was in the back seat. As soon as Agent Harper turned in, we opened the door quickly. We walked up close enough where it only took 2 to 3 steps. I grabbed him immediately. I take him in with myself, falling into the back seat. Seamus closes the front door and the back door, and he hops into the motorcycle, and then we just take off smoothly.
Okay. So what's kind of funny about this, he's so drunk that he's not quite sure what's happening. He doesn't call out. He sort of, as he offers no resistance as you pull him back. He sort of looks up into your face like, well, who the hell are you? I don't know who you are. And you've pushed him into the car, and he's like, hey, what's going on? And you close the doors, and Agent Seamus hops on the bike. You figure out which key. It's kind of obvious if you can look at the keys. And off you go into the night. Where are you going to go?
Well, we can go-
Convenient. Go ahead.
No, go for it. You're driving. You lead us away.
Convenient dark side road where noises will not be evident to rich residents.
Okay. There are a lot of little partly paved dirt roads that go up into the hills. Some of them, of course, have homes, but some of them just lead out to loops that loop around and come right back again. But once you are up there, there's moments that you can sort of see Orange County laid out in the distance, the fairy tale lights shining up from the city. But when you're in between these hills, It's pitch black. And there are a lot of trees.
Yeah, some
it's not
well-treed
flat.
arroyo, I think, is the right place.
Some big old eucalyptus trees and things like that that are growing up here. Yeah, that's what you find. Not a problem. Meanwhile, the guy has fallen asleep in the back seat.
Nice.
How are we gonna sober this bastard up enough that he's useful to us?
Lots and lots of ground coffee.
There's just some cold water.
We would
Maybe
need to, we would need to find water. We would need a location that has all that. We can't
There
just show
is
up somewhere.
there is a little stream that runs through the canyon.
I
Yeah,
love Mother
Ice
Nature.
water.
I have a feeling that nodding off in a warm car outside the bar and then waking up with your hands bound in a cold stream is going to be quite invigorating to his reptile brain. And we don't really want him to remember anything or think things through. We just want him to spill the beans if he knows anything. And I guess we're going to start with, how did you know about the knife? And if that doesn't seem to mean anything to him, then we'll have to reconsider.
At the end of this conversation, is he, or do we let him go?
Oh well, we haven't had the conversation yet.
Yeah, would
He's planning ahead. I imagine we can leave him up here
Oh,
in
I see
his
what you're
condition, and he's not going to be able to tell anybody anything.
we can always just take off his clothes, leave him really just confused, and that way his questions aren't, or when he speaks to other people, he really wouldn't know what's going on.
Although I guess, Glanton, to your question, it depends on what he has to say. But we keep headlights in his eyes, and he's not going to be able to recognize us from Adam.
Yeah.
If you take him down to the stream, you won't have your headlights because you'll be leaving the road and climbing down the embankment.
Hmm.
We can shine a flashlight in his eyes, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be mostly dark anyway. Not only because it's probably a fairly dark night, but because the trees all around block the moonlight, if there is any, unless it was right overhead, which it's not. All right, so we drag him out of the car. He's barely coherent. Poor guy might have easily crashed his motorcycle on the way home. At this point, somehow he's managed to survive, though not crashing his motorcycle for a while. You take him down. There's rocks and things like that. The stream this time of year, there's not much to it. Maybe half a foot of water at the most. Lots of round, smooth rocks. The sound of it kind of covers up, a lot of noise, though screams won't be covered up.
No, it could echo pretty far. It's unpredictable.
All right, so how do you proceed? You've got him down there. You're going to plunge him into the water, give him a Delta Green baptism.
Yeah, it's a little quick rope around the wrists. And we can even, improve that. I assume he's wearing a leather jacket.
Yeah.
We can pull that halfway down his biceps so that he's even more useless. Give him a douse, shine a flashlight in his face, and say, "How did you know about the knife?"
What? Oh, shit! That's cold. That's cold. What the fuck? Why am I tied up? What's going on? Are you cops?
We're a little worse than cops. Tell us about the knife.
What are you talking about? What knife? I don't. What knife? The one that I stabbed Mikey with, or Or what knife?
The knife from the storage unit.
Knife from the what the hell are you talking about? The knife from the storage unit.
Right. Tell us about the bad night in Bell Gardens and the guys who didn't get out.
Bell Gardens. Bell Gardens. That's where Rocco got killed, yeah? Some sort of raid?
Yeah. So Rocco got killed because of a knife. You don't know about that?
Yeah, some other gang, maybe? I don't know. I wasn't there.
Where were you?
That was days ago. I don't remember that. I heard about it though.
Who'd you hear from?
I heard it from Stinky Michael. Stinky with the one eye. What the hell?
Where can we find Stinky with the one eye?
I don't know. He's around. What are you guys doing? What do you want?
We want to know where you guys got a particular knife that you guys took from us.
I don't know what you're saying. It doesn't make no sense. What are you saying? Knife? I got a knife. If you want a knife.
Rocco has been talking to somebody outside the gang. What do you know about that?
I have no idea. What do you mean talking to somebody?
Getting information from somebody else.
Rocco's dead.
Before that, he was talking to somebody outside the gang. He never said anything about that?
I don't know. He probably talks to people outside the gang all the time. You're not in the gang. I'm talking to you.
Well, Rocco told us about you. That's how we found you.
Rocco wouldn't say anything about me to you. Who the hell are you?
He told us you had a particular knife. That you found a particular knife.
I got a knife. If you want my knife, just take my knife.
Describe the knife that you have.
Where are my clothes? Fuck. What the hell are you going to do to me?
We're not going to do anything.
Can I try a human roll to see if I have any idea how to make this derive any useful information from him? Or
sure.
Realize that he's told us more than he knows already? 18, so regular Delta Green success for 55.
Well,
60.
He seems confused. He seems drunk. He seems shocked. You can't really tell if he knows something or not. Either he's been told not to say anything, or he's telling the truth, or he still doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm going to try. You have messed up with the disciples of the worm, kid.
Is that who you are? Is that your gang?
We're affiliated, let's say.
Shit. Look, I know the way these things go. You don't need to make an example of me. I'll tell him to watch out for you.
Boys.
This guy doesn't know shit.
Well, watch out for what exactly? I assume we know his name because he had a driver's license on him. Imagine we went over his stuff in the car.
Yeah, it's probably something lame, like I don't know.
His legal name is Maynard. Yeah,
Maynard Judley goes by Deathstalker. Okay, he starts crying. Don't kill me. Don't. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll tell him that there's a new rival gang in town that you want your cut.
Who are you going to tell?
Whoever they put in charge now, Rocco's right-hand man or something. I don't know.
You don't know who's in charge since Rocco got it?
I don't know. I mean, I heard some things going around the bar tonight. Uh, uh, it might be Shell, or it might be it could be even be Backpack. I don't know. Or Tony. I don't know. Any one of them. I'll have to fight it out.
Is that
Jesus
going to be,
Christ.
yeah, calm down, Maynard.
I don't even know what you look like. I haven't seen your faces. He closes his eyes really tight. I haven't seen your faces. I don't know who you are. Please, dudes, just let me go. Just let me go.
Should we come to like, so I try to pull everybody away. We have one person still holding him or like around him, and we just kind of conclude what would be our collective consensus. Should we escalate the situation more to see if he's really lying, or just believe what he has to say now?
All I can tell is that Disciple of the Worm made more sense to him than anything about the knife or anything else. So there is a connection. So we've verified Purple's hypothesis, but without anything more concrete, that doesn't give us a lot.
Should we be more aggressive?
I'd like to unlock the one piece of information this numbnut still has in his rotted skull. I just don't know what that is.
This guy's a wimp. If he had anything to say, he would have said it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure his mom's gonna have to wash those jeans twice.
No.
Yeah, you can probably smell that by now.
So we go back. Obviously, there's no reason to do him any harm. If we leave him here, the biggest risk to him right now is that he won't be able to get his shit together to not be hospitalized, at least for hypothermia with wet jeans in the mountains. So we might need to help him back on his bike. Is there anything we want to get out of him before we leave him somewhere near his motorcycle? I just want a contact point for the worm.
The water's cold, but the temperature tonight's probably 70. So he's not going to freeze to death. This is California.
And we can leave him how we found him too. He already thinks it's a rival gang anyways. So
yeah, this might have been a bust.
Again, a verified hypothesis. He's heard of the Disciples of the Worm. That's something.
all right, so let's say I just walk up to him, I take out my gun, I put my gun behind his kneecap, since let's say he's laying down into the water, and ask him one last time if he knows anything.
Oh, don't shoot my arm. Please, no, please shoot me something that I don't need. What?
You technically don't need anything because you don't know anything. So I might as well just kill you here and now.
I'll join your club. I'll join your club.
No, we don't need anybody like you. So just tell us what you know about Rocco and the situation when he died. And be very, very specific.
I was just told that there was a bunch of the place got surrounded and there was a gunfight and Rocco got hit and I mean I don't really know. I wasn't there, but
where were you?
I don't know. I was maybe out with Cheryl or Debbie. I wasn't there. I was somewhere else. I don't remember. I remember where I was when I found out, and that was up at Cook's Corners. Cook's Corner.
Who was
But
at Cook's Corner right now when you left? Do you remember
Jesus,
that at least?
Jesus, like 18 people were there tonight.
We only saw 3 leave. Is everybody else still there?
No, we were the last ones, other than Freddie the bartender.
And I look at everybody else in the back. Are we okay with that?
Please don't kill me.
All right.
This guy doesn't know shit.
I'll do
All right.
anything you want. Just don't kill me. Please don't kill
It's
I
your
got too
lucky
much to live for.
it's your lucky night, Maynard. Here's what we want you to do. We want you to be a good boy and go to church on Sunday.
I go to church every Sunday. No. Biker church.
All right. So we're gonna. What we want you to do now is hold your breath, put your face into the water, and then as soon as he does that, we'll walk away.
Okay.
And then, do we decide to go to Corner or go meet with Agent Purple?
Well, that's now we've got another consideration. Because if Rocco died in the shootout, because they were surrounded, and there were only 3 Delta Green agents, then they weren't surrounded, and 2 of them died, and we left Purple behind with the artifact.
And Purple doesn't know that Rocco died. He just left, he said.
He said the blade hasn't drunk, but he thinks it wants to taste blood. Where does he get that information? I think we have a long conversation. I'm going to call Agent Roger.
Okay. Well, before you do that, let's jump back to Agent Roger. All right, Agent Roger. They all leave. We're jumping back in time.
Yep.
They all leave. What do you want to do? You were going to go through all of this list of things.
Yep. He's doing the exciting paperwork of mapping them out, making notes on what cell was where. He's kind of working out this like, oh, if F cell was there, we should, go kind of out from there alphabetically and escalate. So yeah, he's drawing all these analytical maps in a kind of that side room.
So a few of the things that you notice is that F cell must have been quite a while ago, or F cell must have been up to some fairly covert things because they only appear once on the list. However, P cell appears quite a few times. So P cell's been active in this area for a long time. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it. It looks like wherever they might be doing something, they set up a green box, and then half the time don't finish the paperwork afterwards and just leave deadly artifacts in cells.
Par for the course for many of these operations. You got to get out of town.
But you can find the closest ones. Now I didn't mark them on here, so I don't know which ones you would be. If you talk to Purple, he's just going to respond, what's the point? I mean, you're not going to know whether something's missing or not unless, A cell actually has paperwork.
No. We'll have to do the research as we rehome these and kind of figure out what is there at the given time. I think we have a new system we can start cataloging. It's all very exciting.
Do you drink, Agent Roger?
I've been known to dabble in a bit of the old alcohol once in a while.
I'm really beat, but I could sure use a drink. There's a drugstore down the street. You want to go get some something?
Sure. What do you drink?
Oh, we can walk.
Sure. He's kind of given the look at Purple. Is Purple seem like he's sweating? Like, he's obviously been drinking a lot of coffee. He's exhausted.
He seems like what you'd kind of expect him to be. Uh, like he's been fretting and fuming all day long, and now they've brought in other people, and maybe he's trying to be friendly at this point.
Yeah, we'll get a drink. Talk on the way.
Yeah. All right. So he locks up. Um, he takes the box with the knife and he puts it on the top shelf of the closet. He says, I figure, nobody's going to find it there.
Of course, it's a secure location. Wait, let's
And
put a jacket on top of it.
yeah, I mean, it's 1,000,000 to 1 that anybody could ever find it unless we were searching the whole building.
Mhm.
And he locks the door up behind you. And he says, they won't be back probably for hours. Oh, he's quiet, and you guys start walking. The only sound you hear for a while is the sound of your feet on the gravel, as you're walking down the street on the cement. There is indeed a 7-Eleven down the street. You go inside, and they are still selling liquor at this time of night.
Oh yeah, I'll buy it. I'm happy to peel off a couple 20s, get him probably more than he would initially order.
You think what, Jack Daniels?
Absolutely, yes. Mhm.
As you're walking, you got that. You're walking back. He says, one of the perks, I don't know what level your previous cells have been, but we've got it pretty good. LA's got a lot of money in the
Mhm.
Delta Green here has a lot of, they distribute a lot of stuff. They make our lives pretty good. I had lobster the other day, believe it or not.
Wow.
I
Luxury.
love sushi. I love sushi so much. And at our level, we can get Delta Green we can put it on our expense account. So that's kind of nice. But
Who do you expense account?
you don't have an expense account. Yeah, you're not high enough level yet.
I guess I'm not. Who's that through?
Well,
What do you got to do to get to that level?
I think you got to have years of experience. We've been functioning out of the middle of LA for 10, 15 years now. We've seen some really weird shit.
Hmm.
And we've had some good times, oddly enough.
I'll admit that has not been my experience, but
I remember this sort of madcap adventure we went on where there were some friendlies, and in order to cover up what we were going to do, one of the agents had to dress up in a tux and go with one of the friendlies to a prom. That's so ridiculous, but kind of funny. We've looked into satanic cults and things like that. Things that turned out to be just bullshit. Nothing. There was a fucking serial killer. We thought it was really going to be something preternatural, and it just ended up being a serial killer. But we brought that fucker to justice and took care of him. You know that there's like 25 serial killers running around every minute in the United States?
yeah, that's not something you really want to be talking about at 3 in the morning on the way back from 7-Eleven.
Nobody's asleep. Nobody's here.
Oh no, it's more for my little joke. Take a swig.
Oh, I'm sure you've seen some weird shit. Have you seen some weird shit? Tell me what you see.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
What's the
no.
weirdest?
Oh, the weirdest, the weirdest. You know Mary Poppins?
Yeah, the movie or the
Yeah, yeah, she had that the bag, right? And you
Hmm,
like she pulls out like what, a lamppost and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw a guy pull a full-on train set in box out of the side of this guy. I don't know, he had like a Santa's portal or something in him. It was wild.
No shit.
Yeah,
That's really weird. God damn, there's some weird shit.
yeah. Wasn't even really good stuff either. I mean, we burned it all. Not the body. We kept the body. It's somewhere out there.
Yeah. Did you ever hear of the the noble and benevolent order of Our Lady of the Rainbow?
No,
Uh,
the Lady of the Rainbow.
yeah, absolutely fucking nuts. Um,
Like a
geez, that
Pink
was
Floyd sort of
that
thing,
was
or
well, it was supposed to be like a health club, health
hmm
and
hmm
welfare, so sort of new age bullshit. We got rumors that something weird was going on there, and we got involved in that. This was years ago, and
hmm
well, you know, I'm feeling kind of loose with my tongue right now, but and I don't know what you know and what you've come across and what you know,
Uh,
but
I've seen
there is some.
everything, you know.
Well, there's this thing, this nature spirit thing.
Uh-huh.
Um, it goes by a number of names: the Great Mother, the Black Goat. I think it's sometimes is called Shub-Niggurath. So this cult was kind of like a cult of that,
hmm
and they had some crazy ass shit. It's like I've never seen a tree walk, but I've seen trees walk.
Dang.
Giant
What,
man-eating trees.
where'd you put that stuff from that one?
Oh, um, that was there was no real collateral from that. We just had to get rid of that cult, so we put them all down. At least all the ones we think we put down. Oh, and there was this other group, this Satanist group that were catching people's pets, and we also think homeless people, and they were sacrificing him to what they thought was a god.
Okay.
Um, but it was this kind of like amoeba thing that was living in the sewer. You know,
Uh, in LA?
yeah,
Well, you know, it's something.
Up near Griffith Park.
Did you
You know
get
the
anything out of that? What?
I don't think so. We blew the place up. You know,
Lord.
we wiped out we think we killed it. We certainly sealed it up, but we think we killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, anyways, I'm getting. Let's just get back. Let's drink
Yeah.
some. And the more you guys get back, he drinks a little bit too much. He begins to, ultimately slur his words a little bit. Um,
Yeah, I
he
want to kind of
drops.
keep pushing him towards maybe overdoing it a bit because at this point I think I need to get on that computer because he's talking way too
Yeah,
much.
he drops a couple of other names, code names with P's, Petronius and oh, Plumage.
hmm
But he doesn't really go into. He just accidentally, drops them as if they were members of
Yeah.
the team too.
hmm With him.
Yeah, the team that he was on.
Uh, does can I get with this whole level thing? Does he talk about like who brought him into that? That's very
Oh,
interesting.
God, years ago. Yeah, he tells you kind of what, your usual stories are, that
Mhm.
you see something, you were a friend, you were, then you became a friendly and then you
Yeah.
got pulled
Okay.
into it. Um, you can do a human roll on him though,
Yeah,
too.
pretty decent. 42 under 70. So,
Okay. Um, he's definitely holding stuff back. He when the names like Petronius come up, he seems more emotionally involved in that
yeah.
name. When he talks about Partridge and Petrus, it's almost like he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He felt like they were just maybe reckless and stupid and died because of it.
Hmm.
Um, he also, he tells you that it's hard. It's a hard life trying to deal with all this shit. He does seem emotionally drained and and all of that. But eventually, his answers to your questions get further and far in between. There's long moments of silence, and you realize that he's falling asleep.
Yeah, I'll tell him to, I'll usher him into a side room so that I can have the
Okay.
computer to myself.
So he flops onto the bed without taking off his suit and falls asleep. You can hear him a minute later snoring.
Oh,
And sorting.
but should probably check on that knife real quick. Just,
Yeah, it's still there.
lovely. Yeah, I'll start sitting down at the computer and he's going through these lists and trying to find out if we were getting part of the story. He's getting this impression like he's been doing this for a long time. Who better would know these sort of things? And there's that mark on the contents list that says level 1 P cell that
Mm-hmm.
he's now like, if he had a highlighter, that one is now underlined with a bullet.
You don't really find any information on levels, whatever he's talking about.
Mhm.
You do get the strong impression that he's got other files in there. They're all um, locked, with passwords and
Yeah.
so forth. But you do see some of the other projects or the other nights at the opera.
Mhm.
Um, various names. The names don't lend anything
Yeah.
to what the thing is, but yeah, there's been quite a few of them. You can also see that he's got marked some of the names of the green boxes that are on the list
Mhm.
that their cells were involved with.
Yeah.
His record keeping seems to be pretty good. And it looks like what he's been working on all day and night is literally going in and forging coroner's reports and things like that to cover up who uh, Partridge and Petros were. So he's doing that. Want to do anything else? I mean, you get in there and you start doing your work. You can easily.
Yeah, I have a little bit of computer science. I think he's gonna start kind of doing rudimentary, trying to force the password on these, or
Okay.
kind of think like, Petronius or something.
Right. Um, oh, go ahead and do. We don't. Yeah, do a luck roll.
Ooh, oh 06.
Okay. Once it's regular. Yeah, you can't get through his codes.
Big
Um,
shit.
now you get the impression that they've been in this headquarters for a bit of time.
Okay.
It looks lived in. Did you want to do anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to
He's
I
he's dead out. You can hear him
yeah,
snoring.
that's good because I'm going to move the knife um somewhere else.
Okay.
I think Harper and I are of the same mind when he starts talking about it wants blood. I'd like him to not have access to that immediately anymore.
Okay. So that's easy enough to do. You can hide it in the kitchen or, you know,
Put it in the knife block. Yeah.
do you do any other looking around?
Uh, yeah, now I'm curious about this. I want to see what kind of relics these others left because this whole cell seems messed up and wrong. I
Right.
want to see if there's records of these other members.
Okay. Yeah, DG's pretty good. They cover their tracks. You don't find any information about any of the other members. Do you look around at all?
Yeah, I think he can kind of look around the kitchen. He's looking at the normal hiding spots. I mean, he just hid it on a closet shelf, so he's
Right.
obviously not that secure. So,
So you don't find any other records, any other artifacts. However, on the top shelf in the kitchen, kind of under the plates, you find a small journal. It's a regular wire bound notebook, you know,
Mhm.
and pages are yellowed. It's been there for a while. You pull it down, and you almost immediately realize that it is written by Agent Petronius.
Uh-huh.
And it looks like it's 1983, and it's completely filled with notes up until maybe 5 or 6 pages from the end of it. It'll take you some hours to go through it. But we'll say, we'll just line this up supernaturally. As you are finishing it, the others arrive back from where they were. Walk through the door.
So I did call into Agent Roger, and he said,
Yeah, right. Yeah,
he said
I'm
Purple's
working through a
drunk.
journal. Yeah, Purple's out. There's something wrong with this whole P-cell thing. Like, yeah, get here and we'll go over it, but
Roger,
something doesn't
Roger.
add up.
All right. So I will let you look at this. And I sometimes when I do these things, I write out the whole journal. In this case, I left it so that you're telling them what's in the journal.
Let's see. This is an old, yellowed, somewhat ragged-looking spiral-bound notebook, and on the cover is written P-Cell War Journal, 1983, so about 7 years back. Within are many pages dated from January to August of that year, in which an agent Petronius has made many entries, sometimes including little doodles and caricatures of other P-Cell members, including Agent Purple. Reading it, you notice that Petronius is sarcastic and snarky with a bitter sense of humor, describing the day in, day out interactions between the members of P-Cell as they worked out of a safe house in 1983. There are terse descriptions of nights at the opera. One that February was an operation against a New Age group called itself the Noble and Benevolent Order of the Lady of the Rainbow, which turned out to be a Shub Niggurath cult. There are notes about stakeouts and investigations of local New Age groups. It turned out to be just New Age groups. And investigations of bizarre local violent deaths that resulted in the apprehension of a mundane but still sand-drainingly bizarre serial killer, and the investigation of a group of Satanists who, as it turned out, were sacrificing neighborhood pets and possibly homeless people to something that may or may not have been a Shoggoth in a cave in a wooded area outside of town. Okay, killed the cultist, dynamite the cave. Typical procedure. They just hope they killed it. There are also hilarious, if uncomfortable, stories about doing little mundane favors for local friendlies. 2 words, prom date. Then there appears to be a long dry spell for most of the summer in which most of the investigations did not pan out directly, though the cell leader seemed to think there was something to be gained by what Petronius calls snipe hunts in the sewers. Last entry, though, is undated. It looks like the same handwriting, but rather unsteady. Just says over and over, uh-oh. They see all and wait between the walls, no, outside, and they watch us and wait, and they're going to come for us. We hope Purple made it out. He seems to have a knack for it. My guess is this is it. Oh boy.
Purple is known to be the Ultima Hombre.
Yeah. You know what's weird is he told me these exact stories when we did our booze run.
So you could have just written that now
No,
before we got
he
here.
could have just read this.
But it's 7 years ago.
But
And it's another group of P cell agents that he
I,
only survived.
I'm not gonna, I don't want to cast aspersions upon a fellow agent, but are we sure purple's purple and sane?
He does look like the caricature.
Oh, okay. Oh no, that's him.
How old is Agent Purple? What is he? What is his
Purple
overall
looks like
appearance?
Purple looks like he's about 40, 43.
Maybe
Young
he's
man.
just another P word
It's always
that is
possible he survived twice.
synonymous with coward.
I, I mean, maybe he keeps surviving, which is lucky, but also strange. He doesn't seem stable in the slightest,
I
or
mean,
good
I
at
don't know
keeping secrets.
how many nights you spend at the opera, but I've known a lot of Delta Green agents not to seem very stable. The loudmouth part, though, is a little different. Um, you said he was doctoring their uh, the records at the morgue.
Yes, yes. Uh, I can show you where they are on the computer.
Yeah, I'll just stand behind you. I did never. Yeah, I don't.
He's rather cleverly making it seem as if they have identities or they don't have identities,
Mhm.
so that nobody follows a line of questions. He's trying to cut off the questions before it might
Yeah,
not work, but it's kind of standard procedure if you're trying to.
it at least muddies the trail. I'm
Right.
wondering about what the causes of death are, if he's changing those, and
No, they're
if
gunshot wounds.
so. We got the one goofball from the club, roughed him up a little bit. We might have chosen a better target, but the main thing that seemed important is that he said that, at least as one-eyed Stinky reported to him, Rocco's dead. They haven't chosen a new leader. And the way he heard the story was that the gang was surrounded like in a raid, and somehow Rocco didn't make it out. So we have a gang of bikers who think they're outnumbered by three P-cell members, which is either some very good psyops or Stinky doesn't remember it right, but Rocco is picked off. And the kid did seem to recognize disciples of the worm,
Hmm.
but maybe Purple is a disciple of the worm.
It just doesn't add up, right? Like, am I missing something? Like, and then what Petronius is talking about something that sees all between the walls outside, and they
Yeah.
watch us. Like, that would explain why they know everything. Like, kind of gesturing towards the computer. This is probably the same shitty safe house that's been here for 7 years.
Yeah. Are there any personal effects around? Have you seen? I mean, you found the journal. Are there fake IDs? Are there shoes that wouldn't fit Purple? What are
There's
the other?
there's a closet that does have clothes in it, and um, there are nightstands on either side of the bed. Maybe there's a dresser drawer too with clothes in it. Um, if Agent Rogers was looking around, um,
Yeah.
but it looks like three people could have been in this house, though somebody would have had to sleep on the couch. Two of them could share the bed, but it would be crowded. It looks like at some point they grabbed this place because it was abandoned and have
Is there
made it
an
there.
is there an attic or something?
No.
Basement?
Well, the attic is probably a hole in the ceiling that's got storage space up above, and there's no basements. Are there basements anywhere in California?
I have one.
You do? Wow,
I do.
that's
I
very
do.
rare.
It is rare. Yeah.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I think we take all this stuff in purple and get the hell out of this place. I don't trust this safe house at all.
Oops,
There, there might still be a thing in the wall, you're thinking, or a thing looking through some
Kind of.
outside space. I'm kind of thinking we take all the stuff and not take purple and get in touch with inconsequential and say, ask him what we can learn about the history of P-Cell, because it looks like
Yeah.
the history of P-Cell is everybody dies except purple, and then they find some more stuff. And like, does he actually pass things up the chain? He said this will be destroyed, but he didn't say, why don't you take it to a
Right.
safe house?
Right. And oh, I'll point out as well as that he was talking about something called levels, and maybe that's just how they do it with P-Cell is that you have read-in clearance. I've never heard it referred to that way, but this level 1 green box, that's interesting. I think we might want to check whatever the heck that is out.
So we take the journal, we take the knife, we leave Sleeping Beauty.
Take the computer.
Sure, throw that thing in the trunk.
Take the
And
journal.
yeah, do you want to call it inconsequential or just act independently? And because it's what now, 4 in the morning.
We should just act independently.
You can all hear him singing.
Oh, I'm sure we've checked on
Yeah.
the atmosphere in the room has sufficient Daniels in it that I believe that he isn't just listening to us.
All right, I guess the question is, what do we want to do with purple? Sounds like we're taking everything.
And just leaving it behind. Do we want to do that? He knows us.
He knows what we
Innocent.
look like. He has one phone number.
I don't have a silencer, so it would have to get real
And
ugly.
yeah, I'm not assuming that he's malevolent. He might be disordered.
Well, 4 agents have died around him.
I think at least 4 P-cell agents have died in his immediate vicinity. This off-Broadway version of Five Angry Men, I'm not beyond a shadow of a doubt. Are you?
I'm fine at this point. I'm trusting your guys' analysis towards him. If you say leave him, let's leave him. He'll sober up, and by that time, maybe we've made some progress.
I'm perfectly fine with that too.
Yeah, the problem with that is that if he is a bad actor and he knows where there are other things in green boxes, then we're kind of just, he's going to burn all his phones.
I mean, we could just time up.
Take it with us just to make it safe.
If that feels safe.
You've got restraint equipment, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, let's just haul out a carpet, throw it in the back of the car, and let's go.
As long as he can't, I don't know, extend a tongue with teeth on the end out of the I don't if he's not fully human anymore, then restraining him is not necessarily safe.
Fair. I did see him drink. I didn't notice a worm, but
No.
to be fair, I wasn't looking.
It's late. We kind of torture harassed a guy earlier, so I might be a little bit paranoid too.
You guys all are really tired and exhausted, especially Agent Seamus.
All right.
Been a long, long day.
You wouldn't
All right.
believe what he was up to before with the Night of the Opera, but involved the undead.
Oh dear. All right.
So,
Yep.
Are
Cross
you
them up,
guys going
chuck 'em in the
to
back.
move to another location then? Is that your idea? Or
Right.
wait till morning? Or
No, I think we're gonna uh, look in the yellow pages, find a motel, take the knife, the journal, the computer, anything else that seems important, and go and get a cab 45 minutes away so that we can report to Inconsequential. And in the meantime, Purple's not going to go on a rampage with the bloodthirsty knife. Right? I mean, it seems like
Yeah,
harm
totally.
mitigation.
there are literally hotels, motels everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's Los Angeles.
I'm completely sure that he took down every license plate at some point because he's paranoid. So we just have to park carefully and go.
Well, you never saw him leave this room until he went with Agent Rogers and your car was gone.
Fair enough. I just want to move far enough away to not feel
Right.
like he's got
Okay.
a way to find us while we're asleep, because I'd like to get some sleep and analyze this with a clear head.
All right. So you quietly unplug the computer, and it's going to take a couple of you to carry it out because it's a fucking old computer. And
I can carry the monitor.
I know. Is that even gonna fit in the trunk?
Big
put it in the
trunks
back
back
seat.
then.
You take the book and you take the knife and the journal, I mean, and the knife. You take the lists with you. You're pretty
Yeah.
much cleaning him out except for his clothes, right?
Oh, well,
You
I
should
would
just
like
take the
to.
clothes too.
Yeah, I'll find his car keys and let's see if we can take his car too if he's got one. I assume he does.
Yeah, there's a car there. All right. So you take his car as well. And as you do the whole last episode of Mary Tyler Moore thing, where you turn around and you look back into the room and you close the door behind you as you walk out, he's still snoring away in the other room. And this is a good time to take a bio break.
5 minutes later.
So you guys have taken all of Agent Purple's things. Well, not all of his clothes and stuff, but you've taken all of the things that are important to Delta Green. And did you see you wanted to move like 45 minutes far away?
I just want to feel like the motel is someplace he's not going to be able to canvass. He's going to wake up before we do. I anticipate.
Okay.
His as soon as he stirs and realizes the house is still and he's made a mistake, he's good, and then he's been ransacked. I want to be far enough away that he doesn't find us when I mean, I guess we could also try to post a watch, but it's late.
It's LA. You could, if you drive for 15 minutes, you're going to have passed, 30 or 40 different places.
Fine. As long as we have a plausible assessment and we're professionals that he's not going to find us. He doesn't necessarily know what car we're in. We took his car keys, but not his car. Is that right?
I was going to take his whole car. Yeah. I mean, we can always just park it a few streets away.
No, we
I
can
mean,
take
how
his
is he going to
car.
know? Yeah.
It's a good utility. We might need it. Who knows?
Well, if
Unless
we
he
take
has
his
anything
car,
in
we
the glove
can't leave it at the
box.
motel. is all.
Yeah. Leave the car a few blocks away. I'll just walk to the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I can drive the car and then you guys can go do the thing. And then I'll walk. Since I'm the security, I gotta make sure.
So we'll say you are at the Holiday Inn. in
Maple Heights.
Maple Heights. Okay, there's probably a Maple Heights.
Not
All
maybe
right.
4 blocks, but
All right, so you're there. You've arrived. You've moved all your stuff into a room. There's 5 of you. Do you have maybe 3 rooms or 2 rooms or 5 rooms? If only you had an expense account.
We're not high enough level for that.
no, I think 2 rooms is good. We can get a cot or something. I could sleep on a radiator right now. It doesn't matter. And I think the closer we are together, should there be trouble, the better we'll be.
And before I turn in, I'd like to finish up the body cover up, unless somebody has anything they want to do with those bodies. I don't know if we want to investigate them, but I've got a decent amount of paperwork shoving. I could probably finish the work that he started.
Yeah, he almost had it all done.
Yeah, if you
So-
want to put a bow on that, that's excellent,
Yeah.
because we don't want a secondary investigation getting on top of us. And
All
we don't
right.
even know, you know.
So we'll say you arrive at your new location about 5 a.m. The sun's not coming up yet, but the sky is lightening towards the east, kind of a dull gray. What do you want to do now that you're here? We'll assume that you've taken the stuff out of the car and brought it in.
I want to have a very short, very intense sleep and then reassess. 4 hours and my Casio alarm on my watch, just so I
Okay.
can check things out after I'm not totally exhausted.
Okay. So you guys are going to go to bed, go to sleep. You find that you're exhausted. A night of running around and torturing people has kind of worn you out. You, without any difficulty at all, you all fall straight to sleep. About 7:30 a.m., whoever has the cell phone or the burner phone, it starts ringing off the hook. It starts ringing.
I guess he woke up. I imagine that this motel's going to have a sort of external walkways, so I'm going to step out of the room quietly so that people might be able to sleep through it.
Yeah.
You rang?
What the fuck? This is inconsequential. What the hell? Where are you? I got a call from Purple just a few minutes ago. He's absolutely out of his mind.
That's exactly right. Inconsequential. He's out of his mind. We don't have complete data. We responded, I think, appropriately. What did he tell you happened?
He said that you guys have absconded with all of the Delta Green stuff.
That's more or less correct. So, inconsequential, here's what we have in brief. You should check into, if you can, anything about the history of P-Cell, because what appears to us as a group, in consideration to be the case, is that Purple keeps being the sole survivor of recovery events regarding dangerous artifacts. Point A. Point B, he seems to have lied about the latest interaction with the White Snake gang, and his explanations for the death of his comrades are troublesome. He was in possession of an artifact that he described as wanting to consume human blood, but he told us he didn't think it had, but he didn't explain why he thought it wanted that.
Agent Harper.
Yeah.
What makes you think that I don't know all about P-Cell?
Well, you didn't tell us all about P-Cell, so...
Well, there's things that are confidential. We don't go around telling everybody what all the other cells are up to or doing. We knew that he lost members in the last one. but you know, somebody has to survive. Somebody has to get away and tell us what the hell's going on. If you all die, the hell good is that to us?
Yeah, if it's always the same guy who survives, is there a concern about
Look,
that?
they have consistently over the course of years been able to track down artifacts and bring them back to us. In the last 3 years, they've turned in like 7 or 8 different artifacts that they've gotten from cults and things like that.
Yeah.
We've been surprised at how well they've been doing. You've
been surprised, but you haven't been curious about the structure of that secret investigation.
Well, it's Los Angeles. There's lots of shit going on in Los Angeles.
Right.
I mean, there's just as many times that they've had to decline to act because of various reasons. We have they call it a code blue. They're either not able to track down something, or they're not willing to go on that particular opera because they're tired, they're exhausted from the previous opera, and so forth. They work on their mental health and everything. They try to stay stable.
Agent Purple's mental health is not what I would call stable.
Well, he just lost a couple of agents.
He did.
He didn't stop working.
He did drink a couple of pots of coffee, and then he drank most of a bottle of Jack Daniels, and he talked a lot. So we determined that he just wasn't safe at the moment. Nothing has been lost. It's all in Delta Green's hands. If he's pissed off, that's all well and good. How does how do the P's get staffed? How does he choose the other P's he works with?
He doesn't choose them. We choose them. We put them.
Wow.
I mean, you could say that you guys are possibly in line for P-Cell. Depends on how you do, but you take all of his shit and run off with it. What's he supposed to think now? You guys are obviously working with the white snakes, or you're, with some other group. He's freaked out. He can't find his car. He says, "You took his car. Why'd you take his car?"
We were prioritizing. We're mitigating harm. The man is not frank with Delta Green about how agents are lost. Now, imagine this. They're very successful at retrieving artifacts because one of them has a talent or an artifact or something that he can exchange, say, human lives for to guarantee success. Because if he keeps losing his partners but bringing back artifacts, that's, from an intelligence standpoint, that's a trend that's worthy of note.
I thought I made it clear that your mission was to figure out how the white snakes are getting artifacts out of a green box. Did you even go to the green box?
Yeah, we went to the green box.
And
the infiltration was minimal. It could easily have been an agent who knew where it was, who had a key to a lock, who went inside and retrieved a single object, which would be consistent with what we found at Purple's safe house. The lock wasn't forced. Things weren't knocked over. It was a tidy little operation.
Well, look.
And he's got a computer. Do you know where he gets his information about where there are green boxes? He has a database on a computer, and he's printing out lists of things with different cells. Like, where's the data from?
On a higher level than you. He has more access than you do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's got to be more access for people who have more experience. The man has years of experience in this.
How old is Agent Purple?
In his 40s, maybe.
So, I mean, how many years could he possibly have of experience in Delta Green? He didn't get brought in as a friendly at 12.
No, but I can't divulge that information.
Well, I'm not asking you for the data. I'm pointing out rhetorically that the guy was suspicious as all hell. We made sure that we cleaned things up. We didn't do him any harm. We can turn over all of what we took and you can
All right,
hand
all
it
right.
back
Stop,
to him.
stop. Look, I have to deal with you fucking agents all the time, and you're all fucking paranoid.
Have you ever watched a human head scream inside a jar full of liquid silently? Because it makes you a little
I'm not
paranoid.
I'm not at liberty to discuss the things that I've seen. Um, I can almost guarantee that Agent Purple has seen more than you have. Look, we need to fix this problem because, okay, you don't trust him. Fine. I don't care if agents don't trust each other. I think that you need to call him and you need to tell him that for security reasons you've moved the headquarters, and you need to pull him back into the loop. And if you want to watch him, that's fine. But I have no reason to believe that a trusted agent. I mean, he might be a little hard to get along with, and he might be a little, manic, but he's a go-getter. His reputation is exemplary.
Which is, he's not going to get a lot of criticism from his coworkers when none of them survive an operation. Do you
It
know
happens
anything
more
about,
often than you think.
what do you know about the loss of Agent Petronius?
Um, I'm not at liberty to speak about other cases, but yeah,
Petronius, before he died, left a journal and he was talking about something watching from within the walls, something watching from without.
look, if I could discuss previous operas, I'm not sure that I should. Look, I mean, he's not the first person to be the only survivor of a mission, and the fact that he's been the only survivor of two missions, but there were so many other missions in between. There were 7 or 8 missions after that with the new agents, and they did really well.
Look, if your directive to us is to recontact Purple and try to make this nice, I will accept that directive. I'll bring it to the others. I would like you to consider in turn our concern and maybe pass up just the artifact that he retrieved and the Journal of Petronius so that
You have
other
the
people
art.
can analyze it.
Do you have the artifact?
Yeah.
Why don't you establish another green box? I mean, it can be small, temporary, and we will send a B team to come and retrieve the object.
I'm fully on board for that. I'll give you coordinates at this number when we've established it. And
All
we'll
right.
get in touch with Purple.
All right. If he's going to freak out, but all right. And that as far as this, he's got some perks lined up. They've done a lot of work. I mean, he's got some clout, so try to be careful.
I was not aware there were perquisites involved in this situation.
We don't tell all of the cells that all of the cells are not equal. But like I say, you're on this mission with him. You'll be,
which he was not happy about.
No, he's never happy about that sort of stuff. But you will be as candidates possibly for replacing that missing P cell. And
not sure that being moved into P cell with Agent Purple is what I call a safe move career-wise.
It's not really your decision to decide this sort of things. We'll take care of that. Look, watch him all you want. Keep me informed. Ah, Jesus Christ. Keep me informed. Click.
Will do.
Hangs up.
All right, I'm going to go back and put on a couple of pots of motel coffee to tell the gang the good news.
Right. What are you guys gonna do?
It was like taking notes while he was talking. I don't know. He was inconsequential's pretty persuasive, I guess, but also didn't seem really concerned about anything I brought up. And here we are. Now, setting up a new green box, only informing inconsequential and getting things moved up to a higher cell, I think is pretty sound. Other than that, what do you want to do?
So we have to bring Agent Purple back in.
That's the directive.
Just because he has some fucking political, like, state. I didn't even know there was politics. I thought it was Alphonse and then the rest of us idiots.
Hmm.
Like, what the fuck, man?
I
Well,
mean, we don't have to bring him in immediately if we wanted to maybe check out one of the other boxes.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, there's that level 1 box. Maybe we check that out, then go pick him up. Maybe that'll shed some light. It's you said I don't know, who gets that lucky? He told me that he has had good times. Has that been your experience?
Good times? No.
Is this like an LA versus San Diego thing? Because this has been a shit show from like the whole time. This is
good times in Delta Green, he said.
Yeah. He was like, oh, this sometimes bad, but then he's like talking about this and he's like, it's almost like he's like living in a movie where it's like, oh, we went on a prom date and it was a joke, like, ha 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 ha. What? I didn't get that one.
No one should really have any good times in this stuff.
No, good is didn't die and lose close friends.
Hmm.
Everything, and then it's just increasing levels of shit. So, yeah. I I think that checking out something else on his list is a very good idea.
I mean, maybe this is a little bit mutinous, but the white snakes could hit, twice. They've seen him.
That's a
Dude.
little mutinous.
Yeah.
Frankly, I'm in a bit of a mutinous mood right now.
This is the problem with organizations in which no one can trust anyone.
You say mutinous, plausible deniability is maybe another one.
Cowboy era is another one.
There you go.
I mean, yeah, statistically, that would keep us the most likely to survive this. Although, I'll be honest, it sounds like your experience with the white snakes did not lead me towards thinking they were entirely competent.
Neither did our experience regarding Agent Purple. I mean, Inconsequential's on the phone telling me that he's their top man. We did not have a hard time with their top man.
Well,
No.
it's easy to be
Admittedly,
the top man when you're the only one surviving.
It keeps coming up, I don't think unreasonably. So, the yellow pages, let's choose a green box location. Put this journal and knife in it for somebody actually higher up to look at. Because Inconsequential also has to be an operator who takes calls from Purple. Like, he's not necessarily doing analysis. When we pass that information off, we check out one of the green boxes you think looks promising and see if there's another goddamn Aladdin lamp in it waiting for Purple to just pick up and use. And then we take calls for Purple. If we have any reason to believe that we want to work with him.
Well, I mean, we don't trust them anyways. But
And vice versa. I mean, he didn't try to kill us all before we entered his house, and he's a goddamn paranoid bastard, is the new team mascot.
yeah.
I don't know. He's pretty chatty for someone that's yeah, I agree. Let's get this green box set up.
Let's do it then.
All right. So you choose a rather random location, someplace not too far from where you're currently bivouacked, but far enough away that nobody would ever be able to deduce that's where it was. Maybe in another
Storage
storage.
facilities are nice. Yeah. Other places that, I mean, what's another place that more than one outsider has key access to?
Gym lockers, that kind of stuff is
Yeah.
Train
the-
stations,
yeah.
Metro, I think. I don't know if they have any.
PO boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, both things would fit into a PO box or into a locker. All right, so you can decide where you find that. So you've stashed those things, and then you've informed inconsequential where they're
Consequential.
located.
Yeah.
Okay. If you call him, or maybe text him. I don't know if we texted yet, but yeah, I'm sure we texted.
Yeah.
If you contact him directly, he's going to be like, "Have you contacted Purple yet?" He keeps calling. I've told him that you've moved the headquarters.
Clarifying something before we get in touch. Send. Roger, do you want to take the phone for a little while? You don't have to.
Yes. And he'll just pull open the back and pop the battery out.
Hey,
Oh,
that's
the
called
days.
going rogue, Roger.
I don't know. Sometimes these things get bumped and you're out incommunicado for a little bit.
Mhm.
It happens.
Just driving through a valley.
Yeah. Then let's check out which one is that, the level 1 at 7164 Brookside Street.
Okay, that's the Brookside Street.
Yeah, that's the level 1.
What's the GB number? Oh, I see it.
GB 3761.
All right. I'm just going to say that it's another storage unit. You still don't have a code to get in. Now it's daytime. Though you can wait until somebody goes through the gate and then sneak in. Then you don't know which box it is. Same problems as last time.
Should we wait till nighttime or wait for an opportunity?
I tell you, that's another thing. I called him to ask what storage unit it was,
Mm-hmm.
and he came up with that information. Where did he get that? Where did he get box 617?
Are these all his boxes? Because how would he know? We gotta get him.
It's so strange. The the voice of God just gave me an epiphany. Why don't we why don't we surveil Agent Purple? Just check him out, see what he's doing.
Just go to his house and look in the window.
Just spy on
Well,
him.
yeah, spy on him, because he doesn't know what we took. Maybe, it's like one of those, I don't know, I don't really read books, but Sherlock Holmes, like, kind of, he'll look for the most important thing because he thinks we took it.
Well, you didn't take his underwear, but you took all
It's
the other
true.
stuff.
Anyway, we could do that.
It's not bad. You just give him the car keys back and be like, "Hey, where should we go now?"
Just
Oh,
have
that's not
him.
what I meant. I meant
Oh,
like from a distance.
here's your car keys back, peace, and then just tail him.
I mean, he's in the house with the windows, the blinds drawn. He doesn't know how to get to his car yet, so they can't watch much without reinitiating contact. Do we want to have two of us not involved in that contact and trying to engage in surveillance?
Could do
Probably
that.
better on the surveillance front.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I'd like to scope him out before we make contact again.
Well, I mean, given that we dropped his car off a little bit away, picking him up is actually part of getting back in contact anyway. So if you want to take
It does make
his,
sense though. Yeah. Why don't we those making contact drive up with his car, say we took care of everything you were supposed to do. What are you supposed to do now? Like,
we're done with the corpses, we've
yeah.
passed things up the chain. We thought that we saw some bikers in the wee
Hmm.
hours of the morning circling the place. And so we thought that it wasn't safe. And that's why we ran off with vital
Everything but
materials.
you.
Yeah,
But,
that's all fine. I still think that maybe we should give just like 10 minutes, scope it out before we.
Sure.
yeah, I mean, if you're going to pick him up, you're going to have to be there so you can see what you can see.
All right.
So we've done everything so far, but dealt with the artifact. That's correct, right?
The artifact has been green boxed, so it's in a place where we have told our contact point, inconsequential, that it's ready for B cell to pick up and process the journal and the knife. So we're done, and Roger finished the paperwork, so spick and span.
Then let's do that. Let's give him back his car, make contact, go from there.
Blanton, let's you're up. How do we do the stakeout a block away with his car?
Yeah, I mean, just I can just walk up and sneak around, creep around, look through some windows. If he sees me, what's he gonna do? Kill me?
Put a bullet through your head.
Well, might not be the worst thing in the world.
We did leave him his AK-47. Should we not have done that?
Listen,
Yeah, did you leave him any weapons?
I don't think
No,
he had weapons.
Actually, he might have had a gun on his person when he just fell asleep on the bed.
yeah, there was
surviving was never the point of an opera, right?
just
That
ask
might have been
Johnny
for purple.
Exactly. That's the problem when you start thinking that way.
All right, so it sounds like you guys are going to drive back there. Some of you are going to get out where the car is, and you're going to drive the car back over. Is that correct?
Yeah, and let Glanton have a little bit of time that he wants before we fully get there and hand off the card to him and be like, all right, you're clear, bud.
I'll take someone else with me if anybody else wants to come.
I
Okay.
can play what lookout for you. So if you suddenly have some uninvited guests, I can give you a heads up.
So let me get it strategically straight. Purple's in the house. Car is down the street. How is this going to play out? Explain it to me in order.
Yeah, I guess I want to go look through the windows, see what Purple's doing.
Okay. All right. So, Agent Glanton, you obviously don't drive up to the house. You park your car a little ways away and you sneak up. Now this area, these are old houses. They're in rows, so there's backyards, there's side yards, there's everything else. You come up more or less to the house next to him, and you're going to have to walk across their yard, but what is it now? About 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock? You don't see anything. There's no people out in their things. There's a car, there is a driveway, but no car. So maybe these people are at work. Nobody's going to really pay any attention to you walking across their yard. So you walk across the yard and hop the little 4-foot high chain link fence into the house where Purple is. And you sort of sneak around it and you peek through a window that would be looking, it's the backyard window for the living room. You look in and you see Purple. He's sitting on the couch, and for a few seconds, he's just like this. And then he sort of gets up and he starts pacing back and forth. And even sort of gesturing and talking to himself, like he's rehearsing what he's going to say to you people when you get there, because he's looked pretty steaming mad. It's a little odd that he's kind of rehearsing this, but some people are like that. He looks kind of manic.
Can I make out what he's saying?
No, he's not really saying much of anything. It's mostly in his imagination that he's angry. But his gestures tell you he's just furious. And he's rehearsing his fury.
Okay, I will report that back to the other people.
Okay.
No idea what that means.
That almost sounds like it's how he's trying to, like, on a cynical interpretation of this, it's almost like a politician trying to act normally. So again, it's like, how are you supposed to react in this situation? Oh, well, I better make sure I do that then.
Yeah, I am inclined to agree. Do you think he might be some sort of alien?
What, you mean like from Mexico? Or
Oh my God. No, from outer space.
Canada?
Yeah, maybe that's a little stretching it a little bit.
No, I think he just lives in Los Angeles. Like it's
That
just
makes
how
him
it
weird
is.
enough.
Right.
Fair enough. Anyway, well, what the fuck, man? Have we just like busted this guy's balls for no reason? Or is he completely a lunatic?
He's either a lunatic or there is something very, very, very wrong about him. In either case, we need to get to the bottom of it.
Sure, yeah. Whoever the psychologists here are, though, Make sure you're watching his reaction.
I'll keep an eye out for the thing around the eyes if his skin suit shifts and I can see the lizard scales underneath.
There we go.
We could offer him a fresh rat and see what he does with it. All right. Having ascertained that, whatever that was, I guess we're Roger, you should call him and tell him that his car's
Oh no. His
arriving.
car's out of the shop. All right.
And I think we're good, right, with the idea that we were maintaining a watch. We saw multiple people in motorcycles, and we decided we needed to vacate. And we
Yes.
tried to rouse him, but he was in a bit of a condition.
Perfect.
And then
Yes.
maybe
Blame
that
the victim.
we'll put the
Yes.
shame back
Perfect.
on him where it
All right.
belongs.
I'm 100% ready for this. I will drive up front, get the car key out, and go up to the door and give it a knock.
Okay, you got the car keys in your hands?
Yeah.
Did you lock the car?
Yeah. Good habit.
Well, yeah, it doesn't happen like that. What happens is you drive into the driveway and he hears that sound and he slams open the door and comes out towards you, obviously red in the face and upset. And he's like, you took my fucking car. You know, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
And Agent Roger is like, he's kind of coming up, right? Like he's going close. I'll just give him a big hug. Oh, thank goodness you're all right, Purple. Oh, thank goodness. We saw the people thing and we just had to make tracks, but we couldn't get you out of there.
What
You
the
were just
fuck are
so
you talking
drunk.
about?
Yeah,
What are you
it's
talking?
all right. It's great. Here's the car keys. How you feeling this morning? Did you get enough coffee? I'm ruining his practicing is the hope.
Yeah, in fact, he doesn't know what to say. He's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Exactly. It's a
I
right.
woke up this morning, my car was gone and all of my stuff. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's
Where
a
are the
right.
rest of you at this point? Have you pulled up or?
Yeah, I think we're not going to be able to hide our other vehicle from him, so we might as well. Having seen from the car that Roger didn't call him before he approached the front door, I was like, oh, we're just going to see him cut down in a spray of red. And then the hug happens, and I'm like, all right, this is interesting. I'm here for the backup lies.
Purple just turns around. He's just like, he turns his back onto you, Roger, at that point, and starts walking back to the house. And he says, why does this shit happen? You know, I don't need this kind of stress. And he's pretty, at this point, pretty freaking manic. He's like, come inside and tell me what the fuck happened.
Okay, yes. Yeah, I'll wave the others in because I think Harper had a good story prepared. Are we leaving some to our surveilling? What's our
Up to your
Yeah,
unit.
I'll go in with you, Roger.
oh Harper's quiet.
We can leave Seamus and Glanton to the getaway / surveillance. Maybe Glanton's still outside and Seamus can take the wheel.
So Purple gives you kind of a stream of the old rancid, and he's he's like, I woke up, I freaked out. I thought you guys were with the cult or the white snakes or something, and you've taken all my stuff. Don't know why you didn't kill me in the process. And
We're not gonna. You were killing
Why?
yourself, Purple. You were killing yourself. We tried to haul you out of bed 3 separate times.
But you were dead weight. We
Well,
couldn't
look,
pick you up.
we all drink, don't we? You're all into drinking, aren't you? I mean, how do we deal with this pain?
Mostly pharmaceuticals in my case, but that's personal matter.
So you moved everything to a new location.
We saw at least 4 different motorcycles in the wee hours of the morning. They were keeping to the shadows. Honestly, we talked to one white snake guy and he was dumb as rocks. So, and I'm not sure they've got a new chain of command, but they seem to have eyes on this place. So we cleaned it out. We would have brought you, we wanted to put you in a trunk. And honestly, this place with you dead drunk asleep in the bed, you didn't look like an enemy to anybody.
Did they follow you back from wherever you were?
We didn't see any sign of them. I mean, we're not amateurs. I understand that you're more experienced, but it's pretty easy to spot a lone motorcyclist on the streets at night.
So you've moved us to a new location.
Yeah,
I
temporary.
guess give me a few minutes to pack my bag.
Thing. And we're just at a rental. We have to find a longer term location. But the good news is the artifact is on its way to B cell. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. And Roger finished all the paperwork. Honestly, it looks golden.
You're in the clear.
He turns around and walks into the other room, pulls out a small suitcase from under the bed,
And we're all waiting to hear the sound of a firearm.
no, he packs his stuff in there. But you can all do human, what is it? Human intelligence.
21. I want that to be better than regular
18.
success.
Yeah,
Oh,
20
nice.
out of 70 seems like it should be something more than just regular.
Yeah. No.
You'd have
Well,
a couple.
you were all kind of in agreement on this. You really don't think he bought your story.
It's a weak story.
In fact, it's almost as if he knew that you couldn't possibly be telling the truth.
Yeah, almost.
But he packs his stuff up, and at this point now he is stoic and quiet. Fine, let's get to this new place.
Good. Happy to listen to your thoughts about a new long-term location, because I know you've been here for more than 7 years. We just moved things to a motel because it was urgent. So if you've got another idea,
We just stumbled across this place. There's a lot of empty buildings in Los Angeles.
and when you say we, was Petronius part of that?
Look, let's not talk about previous missions, okay? That's kind of breaking protocol.
Right. Did you know that there was a journal in this house?
He goes into the kitchen and opens up the cabinet and reaches up there. He's like, "You found a journal." Did I know it was here? Yeah, I knew it was here, but I haven't even thought about it for years.
Roger, do you remember the last passage in Petronius's journal, the thing about the thing in the walls?
They see all and wait between the walls, no outside, and they watch us and want, and they're coming to, or they're going to come for us, I believe. We hope Purple makes it out. He seems to have a knack for it. My guess is this is it. You have a reputation.
Yeah, well, the survivor usually does in cases like this, doesn't he? Look, I'm not at liberty to discuss that case with you.
You seem pretty keen to talk about the sewers and whatnot last night. In fact, you told us all these things in the journal.
Well, fuck me. What was I drunk?
Are
As has
you
been
not?
established.
Do you not have a hangover this morning? Because that may be the most suspicious.
I do have a hangover, but my anger was I was like ready to I was I don't know what I was gonna do. I called Delta Green because I thought you guys were double agents or something. Majestic 12 or good God, some other thing. All right, all right, all right, all right. Let's get the new location. You guys are gonna have to I don't know what we're gonna do now. Um, we'll have to hang low and wait until we can find some other lead to some other location, and we'll follow protocol, you know. Um,
You've been watching the White Snakes for a little while, right?
yeah, yeah.
Who do you think's going to take over now that Rocco's dead?
Oh, geez, I have no idea. I wasn't watching him like that closely.
So he didn't like have a second in command in place or anything?
They're a bunch of bikers. I mean,
They are.
how hard is it to, with a machine gun, you could just get rid of all of them. But they're not they're not the main problem. They're the flunkies.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what? Do you have the address of the new place?
absolutely.
I think I'd like to go for a drive, clear my head. Did you take anything out of my car? Is my license still there? My registration?
Sure, you should
Everything's-
probably re-up it, but yeah.
Fine. He says, I'll meet you at the new location in an hour.
Get a cup of coffee, get maybe I think there's a lot of new carrot juice places. Might pick you up a little bit.
Y'all like dim sum?
Loved him some.
Dim sum.
In the morning?
Fine. Dim sum is the morning. Yeah.
Oh.
Breakfast.
Yeah.
So he's a little discombobulated at this point. But he's calming down. The red's gone out of his face, and you don't think that he bought your story, but he's functioning. You watch him go out to his car, and he gets into his car and drives away. And Agent Roger, you notice that his keys are sitting on his desk.
Look out the window at the car driving away.
Are we following him?
I hope so.
That was the idea of having Seamus behind the wheel, was to tail him.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as he moves, follow at a nice discreet distance.
Yeah.
Like,
Harper,
Gertrude, did
should
you happen
probably...
to look in the trunk when you had it?
No, we did not. We didn't even search his car at all, which I feel like we should have.
I'm sorry, Roger, what were you thinking?
No, do you have Glanton's phone number or Seamus's? We should probably tell them that car shouldn't be running. He's just eyeballing the car keys on the table. That car shouldn't be going unless he has spare keys, right?
So,
But then why?
Did you see him reach under the...
Also, did we tell him where the new green box is?
Yeah, he asked you. So
okay.
You would have given
No, knew where the new
okay.
safe house was, not the
safe
new green
house. Right.
the
Safe
green
house.
box. I don't want him knowing anything about that knife if I can help it. So you've got the phone. You can probably call Seamus. I can probably lean out the house and whistle for Glanton, who's like wearing a shrubbery.
That's
You
good.
just see me rise out of the pool.
All right. So, are you going to join? Is Glant going to pick you up quickly before you follow him?
Yeah, I'm not going solo.
Useful.
So we hustle out of the place and jump in Seamus's car. Follow that weirdo.
All right. So you're following Purple from a distance. You do the trick where you occasionally let a car get in front of you so that it doesn't look like you're always there. He takes a number of roads as he's going, and he goes to another storage unit. It's not any address that's on your list. You see him, you can see him from across the street, and he's not paying close enough attention to notice a suspicious car. He seems very determined. What do we have for, I guess is it alertness, or do we have a spot hidden or noticing something?
I think it's
Notice?
just alertness.
Yeah, it sounds like alertness.
Alertness. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so alert, but not right now.
53
you
under
notice
60
this?
is regular.
He drives his car up to the gate going in. This is daytime now. He drives it up to the gate. The little number pad is sticking up there next to him. He rolls down his window. He reaches out and he touches the notepad, just touches the notepad, and the gate starts to open.
You mean like he doesn't push a button, he just touches the framework?
Right. Just touches it and the gate starts to open.
Yeah.
And he pulls his car in and starts heading down to one of the rows of buildings. Now, if you go in, it's impossible to hide. I mean, you could hide on your feet a little bit, but these are just straight rows. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm not great on the stealth front, so I'm good on the observation front. But your guys' call. Do we go plunging in head first, or what do we do?
I feel like we would have to. We can't just send one of us in there, especially when it's gated.
Have we seen enough for a kill on sight? He's clearly anomalous, but it's up
Well,
to you guys.
Do you just want to go and drive by and cap him now?
I don't know.
Kind of, considering that usually green boxes have weaponry in them. I'm becoming more and more inclined to just run him over.
I've heard enough from Roger. I heard a go, so I'm going straight in.
Okay. So you drive in through the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a problem. Because the gate opens for him, and then, of course, it immediately starts to close again. So you're letting him go down there. You'd have to wait. So the gate's closed.
Can we try and hack that open?
Good try.
So, not to be a backseat driver, he is possibly picking up something dangerous.
Do you just want me to ram the gate?
He knows where the motel is, but nothing else. The knife's
There's
safe.
probably people here. Oh, at this time of day.
Well, and that's the thing. There's probably somebody who will answer a bell at the gate, but then what to deal with the public. Maybe we just have to wait and follow him again.
Could we just wait, see until he comes out? If he comes out,
If he doesn't come out, I might feel very lucky. I think he's going to come out, but he's going to have some, I don't know, sci-fi ray gun in the passenger seat.
All right, maybe it's better to wait, or what do we think?
I mean, if we crash the gate, we're going to have to deal with all the collateral damage.
and the commotion and all kinds of stuff, and who knows what can really happen.
Roger's just running the number and he has no help whatsoever. It's just
Yeah.
like yeah. I I think Seamus and I have seen enough to nuh-uh, there's something wrong with him, but
Or
I
in
don't
which
I
case,
don't know.
another option is, do we want to ditch the car and then go in on foot?
All five of us, or
We basically circle his car, wait for him to come back, and as soon as he appears, bang, and then leg it.
we can try that.
If we can get it on foot, if there's a human-sized gate, I think the cleanup of the security camera and maybe
Uh,
a couple of witnesses to nothing in particular might be a cheap way out.
Um, just to clarify, it's the middle of the day. There is an office there. There's people working in the office. There may be a few people already in their own green boxes, in their own storage boxes.
The other question is, do we think that he's fully on the run because he didn't buy my story because he knows that the motorcycle gang doesn't care or know anything or some other reason? So, but if he's planning to go to the motel to wipe us out, just go there and set up our own ambush.
I
I-
agree. Yeah.
I don't want to and he's kind of looking like in his mind through the paperwork. We do have a booby trap that we can set to a doorknob.
Can we set it up to his car door?
Well, he'd see it. It would be
We could set it up to the
That big,
hotel.
okay.
You're
That
hoping
would-
he comes in through the front
we-
door.
Yeah, we can do that. Or he has to go there anyways. He said he was going to meet us there.
Yeah. Doors open, come on in. We shout from the bathroom, it's
I mean, he might be getting his ray gun and his 40 pounds of gold and just planning to drive to Tijuana, in which case we've lost him.
I mean, I think that we have all the time in the world to follow this guy.
all right.
I don't know why he would leave though. I feel like Delta Green loves him.
Yeah, a little too much.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that Agent Inconsequential isn't Agent Pepperpot, and the two of them are running this ship together. So, Seamus, do you want to hotwire another car so we have dual visibility
That
and
sounds like a plan.
track him back to the motel? One of us can go ahead of the motel, the other of us can track him, and then we're just ready. We're at detonate point, right? We all agree.
Yeah.
A man who can manipulate electronic devices with a single finger touch is not an honest human member of the organization.
We're agreed.
All right.
I'll
So
go-
you're
I'll
gonna
go and find generic sedan number 3 parked down the road.
okay. So wait now. You guys are going to follow him? Is that what you're going to do? Or you're
Well, we're
going to-
splitting up our surveillance. We're gonna give him the location for the hotel. We're gonna ambush him by setting up our own booby trap. And then,
Okay. All right.
So one team's going ahead of the motel, the other team's following to make sure he's actually going to the assigned location.
Okay. So, and you guys are all in communication with one another. So, all right. So who's going back to the hotel?
Agent Roger, do you know how to set up the booby trap?
absolutely not.
I mean, I'm the demolitions expert.
Then you know how to set up the booby trap. Then him and I can both go to the hotel.
Okay. So you guys are going to the hotel, and Harper, Roger, and Seamus, you guys are continuing your surveillance. Okay, he's in there for maybe only 10 or 12 minutes. And he comes back out. The gate, of course, opens automatically when you're coming from the other side. He drives out and into the street, makes a right-hand turn, and continues on his way. You continue your surveillance. You don't think that you've been spotted.
Is he going in the right direction to meet us at the motel we described?
It's too early to tell because usually you have to do this before you can get on the highway or anything like that. He does that and gets onto the highway heading towards your new location. But he gets off before there. You see him get off, and he drives into a small neighborhood, and you see him park his car in a driveway. Now, the house in question doesn't look maintained. The grass is unclipped. The place looks probably abandoned. Maybe there's a for sale sign, but the for sale sign itself is damaged. So it's been for sale for a long time. It's not a great neighborhood. You see him get out of his car, and in the back, he reaches into the back seat and he pulls out what looks like a box. And he walks over to the front door of the building, and all he does at first, your first impression was the door was unlocked, but what you see is him with his index finger touch the lock and then open the door. And he walks in, and he's in there for maybe 5-10 minutes at the most. And then you see him come walking back out again. And this time you see him hold the doorknob, reach around, lock the locking mechanism on it, and pull it closed. And he walks back over and he gets into his car. You take note of the address.
He went in with one box from the back seat,
Yes, and he didn't come out with anything.
and he came out empty-handed. Good.
Yeah. He then proceeds to drive to your new location. Those of you who have gone ahead to the new location, you are just, we'll say this all having at the same time, you arrive at your new location. Does Agent Harper, Seamus, and Roger want to call and tell them how to proceed or what to do, or if they still want to booby trap the room?
Yeah, kind saying, yeah, Bogey is incoming. Again, confirmed on site that he's fucking weird.
All right, so he's on his way. Is there anything that we need to know about him particularly?
He's just going to touch the door handle and open it. So if your booby trap works by just the door opening, even better. If it's the door handle turning, maybe not so good.
Okay. So we need
seen Saw, Agent McCurdy?
which one?
I don't remember which one it was. The one where he opens the door and the shotgun blasts him.
Yeah.
The one that won't be made for 14 years.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
We gotta take care of Glandon too. Great.
No.
So how do you want to you're the demolition expert. How do you want to do it? Apparently he can open doors without touching doors.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. Set it up, grenade at the about head level, sounds good. He knocks the door open, String pulls the pin out, and he blows up. That being said, I mean, if you want to pick some place just in case he somehow is able to magic his way out of it so you can blow him away, contingency.
This is a motel that you're going to blow up, right? With
people
in the other rooms.
Yeah.
The motel had it coming.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Now we could do that.
Turn
Exactly
the
how
gas on the stove.
Yeah, but then we shouldn't be here either.
Electric
How,
stuff.
how are we gonna
Shit.
how would we make sure that the grenade actually took him out?
Uh,
We would have to be near the explosion, right?
Across the street.
oh, look, it says a complex looking booby trap kit, fortunately containing instructions. So there you got instructions. It's composed of 8 absolutely massive bullets, which military minded agents may recognize as 25 millimeter rounds for the M252 Bushmaster. Firing tubes with strikers for said rounds strung together on a line with a laser for finding the impact point, and a tripwire designed to be linked to the doorknob. The purpose of this trap appears to be the complete and total annihilation of whoever opens the door.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
That's what
All
you
right.
found in the box. Yeah.
Then we'll set it up the way that Agent Clanton said, head level. Since it's only going to shoot, it's not going to explode. And then we'll
Oh
just go.
shit. Well, if it's gonna shoot, then I don't know.
I don't think it's shooting. I think it's going to explode. The bullets are made to
Okay,
explode.
good. Yeah, good.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like a shrapnel bomb.
But it'll probably take
okay.
half the building with it, half the front of the building.
Is the hotel or motel hallway, is it open space parking lot or is there room across each other?
It's a motel. It's probably in a big L shape, and there's just rooms and fronts. So
Okay.
He'll blow his car away outside then.
Look, no crying in Delta Green. Let's just set this up.
Okay, so that we can be near the motel we don't have to be across. We can just be somewhere within the other rooms.
Well, if the explosion is pointed outwards, as it presumably is for opening the door, someone really should be inside to say, "Hey, come on in," and then it's going to be less suspicious for him. He's just going to open the door and then blam, and you'd be on the other side of the cone that the explosion is going to go out in.
Okay. I don't mind volunteering to stay in.
You're a
Then I'll-
brave man, McMurdy.
And just have some heavy ordnance with you for if he's still
Yeah.
standing after it.
Yeah, I'll be ready with my gun.
Maybe close the bathroom door and call from in there.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. We'll do that. So Agent Glanton already set up the booby trap. We're waiting for everybody's arrival, and we'll go from there.
Good luck.
Park up in the
Um,
car park within line of sight of him. But
you're going
obviously not
to
in range of the
you've
blast.
reported to Clanton and McMurdy what you saw happen.
Yep.
All right. Indeed, Purple drives into the parking lot. He parks his car. You see him get out, and the first thing he does when he gets out is he looks for your cars. It's like, but he goes over. Is this on the first or second level? Are you?
We are on the first level just to
Okay.
make it.
So he walks over to the door. Those of you outside surveilling, you can see him walk over towards the door. And he goes, knocks on the door.
And then I just wait for him to knock again.
Knocks again.
Who is it?
Purple.
Okay, you can open the door. It's open. It's not locked.
It's not locked.
We were expecting you. Just come right in.
You were expecting me. Is this some sort of a trap? He starts backing away from the door.
Is that
Are you
hard for
guys
to go
working-
on in?
Are you guys working for Majestic?
I don't know who that is. I'm in the restroom right now, so you caught me at a very off time.
I'll wait for you to open the door.
Okay, if you can wait 40 minutes, or you can wait until the others get here, that's really up to you. I can't finish halfway, so
Halfway, you're going to take an hour and a half to take. Yeah, he suddenly backs away from the door and he starts looking around to see if any other cars are coming. And pulls out his phone.
Run him
And
down. Floor it. Bam. Speed bump him.
so you're going to pull into the parking lot?
Yeah, and then straight on, go swing by, and then boom, over the top of him.
Okay. Well, he is extremely suspicious at this point. So any odd noise has got his attention. As soon as you pull into the parking lot and he sees you and you're not slowing down, he's going to start running.
Well, that makes it hopefully a bit easier.
Well, he's running down the front of the buildings. So there are pillars holding up the second part. But he runs towards what looks like, there's like an office or a lobby or something like that. He runs up to that door and just opens it quickly and jumps inside. We'll say just as you hit the glass front and smash it, your car comes to a halt.
Mhm.
Agent McMurdy is still busy.
well, I see him run out, and I shoot the window instead of trying to open the door. So I just shoot the window, and I walk out or I crawl out. So I'm with everybody now.
Do you try to shoot him as he runs by the window?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and do take a shot at him.
I got a 17.
Ooh, that's a regular. Do I do opposed or? Oh, he got a 24. I think we're pretty much matched. How does it work in Delta Green?
Don't think you usually dodge the bullets. Yeah. It's usually just a hit. Yeah, you could dive for cover, and that's a -%. I don't have it right in front of me.
He's already running.
Yeah.
I'd say you clip him. We'll say you clip him in the shoulder as he goes by. So those of you in the car see the little spray of blood as he's running, but he's gone into the office.
I've gone through the office front.
You've crashed. There's screams. You can hear a few people inside the office that are, the way you see in YouTube videos when people crash into the restaurant. You crash into the lobby. What are you guys going to do?
I mean,
he's on the run.
Yeah, Roger was probably in the car, white knuckling it, and he's just gonna get out and start to give chase because him shooting at this thing is not gonna happen.
Okay.
Well, I will give chase, but I am armed and I'm not afraid to use it.
Okay. You're pretty much 30 feet behind him. And he almost instinctually and strategically runs through the building towards what would be like a back door where the garbage area would be. And you see him just grab the door, open it, and run out. And the door, it's a big metal door. It just sort of swings closed behind him. When you get to it, it's locked.
Shoot the lock out and continue going.
Okay. You do that. Now, though, you're maybe 50 feet behind him. He's running down the alley just at breakneck speed.
I've
Now,
got fairly good athletics. Go on.
I'm not the most dexterous, but assuming when he ran into the office that he was going to try to go around,
Uh-huh.
and assuming that I wasn't significantly injured in the impact, which we were prepared for after all, I want to run around to try to impede him, but I
Okay.
don't know logistically how far where
You're
that
going
puts
to
it.
try and cut him off?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do a luck roll. 50-50.
28.
Nice. All right. So just as he's about to clear the end of the alley, you come around the corner. Are you armed?
I was looking for anything I could pick up as I ran because I do not carry a firearm.
Okay.
I carry a shotgun and a magnum, so I'm planning on running
Okay.
with the handgun because it's easy to run with. So
Okay.
you can grab the shotgun because I'm not going to be
Plus,
carrying
Agent
both.
Harper, you also have your fists.
Yeah.
Um,
And if he does know I'm there and I'm barreling down the hole, yeah, I'm basically going to try to lunge at him so that,
okay. Well, what happens is this. Just as he's, like I say, just as he's getting ready to turn out the alley, you come around the thing. And when he sees you there with a determined look on your face, he screams like a woman, and almost in a single motion, he like balls up and collapses onto the ground and sort of slides in the gravel up against the white brick wall that's there. And he's like, "Don't kill me!" Like this. Absolutely fucking terrified.
worm.
You can see that he's peed his pants.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I'm going to have a hard time not stumbling onto him under those circumstances.
Okay, do a constitution roll to see if you
And I'm,
trip and
basically
fall over him.
going to make sure that he's still there when I have backup. Constitution 62. No, I missed it by 2. I stumble right over him. Wow.
You stumble over him, you hit the wall, it hurts. But he is now gone into a fetal position and he is just shaking like a leaf as he's laying there on the ground, terrified that he's about to meet his end, I guess.
Oh,
The others of you
really?
start to catch up. You guys catch up to him.
Okay, unload the gun into him.
Can you kill him?
Well, blam, 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 blam. If he's point blank cowering, then execute the motherfucker.
All right. Yeah, no way he can get away from that. Bang, bang, bang. You fire into him, and he screams as you hit him, shaking, and then for a couple of seconds he looks up into your eyes with tears, and the light goes out of his eyes, and he fades away. And not literally, just dies.
Reload the clip and put another 3 in the head just to make sure.
Okay. Yeah, and at this point, people are starting to wonder what the hell's going on.
We
Well,
should be
people are-
going now.
People have probably already called the police. So you're going to go?
We should probably take the body and go.
All right. Oh, you're going to take the body. That's going to take, that's going to slow you down quite a bit.
No, we don't have a card either.
We have
We have whichever one which you two turned up in to begin with.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
we have
Because
one
we got
stolen
to get
car.
One stolen car,
One
currently
crashed
lodged in our
car.
office. Yeah.
There's other things you can do, of course. You could theoretically, make sure he doesn't have any ID on him, to identify him.
He's
I'd
already
like to-
messed up in case he's not dead. We're going to
Okay.
take him and make sure that we finish the job with the wood chipper.
You could put 3 holes in his head and 3 in his body.
Plus,
Well,
plus
this
if
is
he
brutal.
has, yeah, we gotta take him because if he ate a lucky rabbit's foot or something,
Okay.
there's yeah.
All right. So you
have
guys,
to.
those of you in a car, you pull up. You open up your trunk and you pile his body into the thing. There's probably a few people screaming at this point when they see what's going on. They probably assume you guys are a gang. But you get in your car and you drive away before the police arrive. What are you going to do?
Like I said, I suggest we find the nearest wood chipper.
Yeah, maybe we should check what he left in that place.
We've
Go
got,
back to the address.
yeah, he stopped at a house and dropped off a box. Not everyone knows that, but whatever's in it is relevant.
We're not hearing Nathan.
No, absolutely 100%. I'm gonna just hypothetically, maybe we stop for a second and call in a bomb threat to that hotel too, because we did leave
Leave that, yeah, that
massive
booby trap.
explosive device attached to the door. So probably want to mention that before someone comes along.
I've got room 5 for you. It's right over here. It's available.
Maid
right.
service said this morning it was our nicest and freshest room.
All right. So we'll not worry about the hotel. That's gonna fall under, either terrorism or gang activity. The car is not traceable anyway. You wouldn't have been that dumb. So you said wood chipper. I mean, what describe now how you're gonna end this with?
I think we want to go back to the house that he dropped the box in, because that's a relevant artifact. I want to just cut off a swatch of Agent Purple in case lab results will tell us something about what he was.
Okay.
And then we'll take the box out and we'll incendiary that abandoned house. And that'll take care of a couple of points.
1 second. My ears are stopping. So I'm going to switch.
If we take that finger, we have a lock pick just built in.
I hadn't thought of it. I was just going to take a swatch from his love handle, but no, that finger might be very handy.
It's almost like a modern day hand of glory in one sense.
Yeah, we could take a whole hand and see if the fingers burn.
Okay, so you drive back to that house, and you go inside, and let's see.
As our demolitions expert want to make sure that opening doors or windows ain't going to get us to go boom.
This doorknob seems familiar somehow. Click.
Okay. What you find a cardboard box. And when you open the cardboard box, do you open the cardboard box? Okay.
Carefully.
You open the cardboard box, there is Excelsior, that sort of shredded newspaper inside. In the bottom, there is a blue leather, looks like the kind of thing you'd present to a fiance,
Mm-hmm.
And inside of that, if you open it, is a brass signet ring with an 8-pointed star. Looks very old. Like not modern jewelry, like 1,000 years old. I'm gonna do this, but let's see. Everybody do intelligence rolls. Let's see who gets the highest intelligence roll.
67 is a success.
40 is a regular.
40. Nothing max. Okay.
98.
So Agent Harper, you look down at the ring, and you've seen this ring before. You were involved in an operation maybe 5-6 years ago, and as you recall, there was a bunch of jewelry, and you guys all secured that into a green box. This is from that green box. This is from that collection.
Yeah, so they've been raiding T-cell or Purple has been raiding green boxes for their own purposes for who knows how long. And actually, I don't know if we should go and, after we set this place afire, making sure that his body is the
Uh,
center of that, maybe we should go back and get that knife.
the only thing I might suggest, just as a, I'm thinking here, if we leave this place and surveil it, what do you want to bet that we see some white snakes pull up? This seems like a drop off.
Oh shit.
I think we might have been on the money. I think he's been selling, like, he could have been the source for all of this, and he's been helping himself. So he has, I don't know, he read a book that makes it so he can touch locks and make them open.
Right. And the way you get paid at P level is because it's pay level, where you pay yourself off by selling artifacts to the black market.
And that explains why he finds them so often. Is he just goes to other green boxes that he has a list of and just says, "Oh, look at this cool thing I found."
So do we have time to fill the cellar with kerosene and leave his body floating in it? And then,
There's no cellar, not in this.
right, California.
So you burn the building down with him inside?
Well, that's the question. Are we going to wait to see whether the white snakes show up? I mean, if we prove that hypothesis, what does it get us?
Yeah, that's true.
I think this is the ringleader himself. That's why he was pissed off that we were sent up to follow after him.
We can also prove it after we've blown the building up.
True.
They won't know.
Yeah, good point.
They still show up on motorcycles, then we can say, correct.
Well, let's at least let's wrap this story up. You're going to you surveil. You never see any white snakes approach this house. You've burned it to the ground with his body in it, so that covers that up. You go back to the old house and burn that as well. All right. That house is taken care of. You are, however you want to spin it, you are ultimately then going to be reassigned to a new P cell so that you can continue the investigation and see what the hell is going on. Do roll, one of you roll a 4-sided dice.
So much suspense.
Looking at Harper.
3.
Okay.
I got a 1.
So you work on this project for 3 months. You thoroughly do your investigation and everything, and you come to the conclusion that the white snakes are not involved in any of this at all. You look through the computer. It takes you a while to break into some of those files. It seems like each incident wherein they infiltrated and got stuff was awfully convenient and easily solved, and that there's no evidence of anybody called the worm, the brothers of the worm, or anything like that in here. And so eventually Delta Green has to close that investigation and put you to work on other stuff. So that's really the end of the story. So now I owe you an explanation for what was going on. 10 or 12 years ago, Agent Purple was involved in P-Cell, and the Petronius and Plumage were killed, and he was quite traumatized by the whole thing. If you recall from the journal, he saw some things and he was quite traumatized. Well, he decided at that point that he didn't want to do any more missions. He wanted to get out of it, but he didn't see a way out, and he was kind of enjoying the perks. So what he decided to do was he began staging missions. He had found some green boxes. He knew that Delta Green's paperwork was shitty. And so he was taking things out of the green boxes and planting them, and then telling the agents that he'd gotten leads that the white snakes, who were totally scapegoated for his purpose, had been involved in this. They would go there, they would take care of the problem, they would take the artifact back, turn it in, and then they would get some R&R. And there were also times when he was like, I don't want to go on these missions. I'm going to call a blue coat in and say, we're too haggard, we can't go in. I just want to pretend. And this worked very well for him for 10 or 15 or 10 or 12 years until the last two agents, they were getting too suspicious. So he ended up setting it up so that the place he sent them to was, in fact, white snake territory, and the white snakes just gunned him down. And he pretended to find that artifact, turn it in. And so he was trying to cover his tracks. He just assumed not have anybody else involved. And that's what he was doing. He didn't want to risk his life. He was terrified. When you guys finally confronted him there at the end, he was just totally terrified. He'd almost never been into a fight.
What about his ET finger?
He found an artifact, which you never stripped him and checked his body, but he had a necklace on, and hanging on the end of the necklace is the skeleton key. And it makes it so that if he touches any lock, it just automatically opens, including combination locks. If you had handcuffed him, he would have pretended along until you weren't looking and then just undone the lock. You couldn't lock him in anywhere. You could lock him in a safe and he could get out of the safe without any difficulty at all. And it was pretty much mundane other than that one little thing that he could do. But he could hop into any car he wanted and touch the lock and just drive away. He wasn't paying attention. So he...
You don't remember your keys when no locks work on you.
Right. He'd
Like,
been
you're
doing
just
it for
not
so
gonna get in
long.
the habit.
And we
Moral
would
of
have
the
really
story
had to
is all-
concrete him.
But that was the
stories always strip search them.
that was the basic story, and there were a million ways that it could have gone. If you had actually confronted him, he could have gone homicidal. If he'd had something, in his hands or caught him red-handed with something, he might have used it. I don't know what the ring does. I have a list of green boxes. I have a whole list because I didn't know what I was going to use and anything like that as you went along. I made up the lists of where the green boxes were and all of that. He also had a green box. That was his green box in the last place, not the house, but the storage unit. You would find probably quite a few little artifacts in there.
Well, that's the
that he
sequel
had-
right
that he
there.
had. Yeah,
The stuff he kept.
but the white snakes, torturing the white snakes, they didn't have a clue. And the only thing that you had said, what sounded like the name of another gang. So poor Maynard was just like, sure, yeah, there's any gang. And Agent Purple knew that if you torture somebody long enough, they'll confess to anything. That's what he was banking on. That you guys would just torture a confession out of the guy and then he could pretend the next thing. That's what he was doing. He was setting up to tell you, oh, there's another house that we've just come up on the radar. Go there and see if you can find anything. So that's the story. Go ahead.
I'm just relieved we only, dunked Maynard in a creek. And he might have made it home safer as a result.
Yeah, he might have changed his whole life after that.
Yeah,
He's now a
maybe
terrifying televangelist.
He probably goes to church every Sunday now.
And there I was about to hook the car battery up to him.
Our players included Max Meltzer, Matthew Sanderson, Jolka, Nathan Decker, and David Gasaway, with myself as the handler. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastery. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, iTunes, or Podbean. Support for our show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to join them, please visit our Patreon page listed in the description. Or you can use super thanks by hitting the button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom, Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Delta Green role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.